obviously one of the things we need to get done today is obviously. Well, you don't have to, but it's now suggested that maybe you want to set out on your own, set up your own lodge, sort of pick your own mission, sort of have more ability to do your own stuff. At the same time, also, things have been very much a sort of quiet down mode, which is why you've been just in the London lodge. But now you're sort of becoming your own team. You may want to spread out and have your own place. So sorting out the lodge is probably a good place to start. Right. Fencing Grounds is back up, so hopefully you're all able to connect shortly again, after I just kicked you all out.
Just as long as it's not near Buckingham Palace, because I hear there's rampaging horses.
Yes, that was it. That was an interesting one. But there we go. Let's make it. Move on to that. So it's Monday, the 25th of March, 1885. The moon's phase is an evening crescent. Not that that sort of thing matters for any reason whatsoever. Except possibly just making you paranoid, I hope. If it doesn't, I'm not doing my job right.
I'm not paranoid. Who said I'm paranoid? I'll get him.
Indeed.
Everybody says I'm paranoid.
Right. Let's. So I know she had some discussion started. So, player's guide, Resurrected, setting rules, lodges. I do believe we worked out you have 25 lodge points, and I think someone's done some sums, haven't they? What did I see? Level 15. Level 5 is 15 points. Concealed dissecting room, medical centre, mysterious benefactor costs 8 points, leaving us with 2 points left over. Is that what you're going for, or do you want to discuss more?
Except that we don't have 2 points left over because a purpose built is also a possible edge.
Indeed.
And again, it's not that we have to go this way. I just thought it was a good way to go.
Yeah.
Indeed, it looked right it looked good from what I was thinking, and the logic was sound, right? Like that we needed to get far enough away from the patron, right?
Oh, why?
Along with the other.
I
I would just reading through it made perfect sense to me.
Okay, so you got 25 lodge points. So the most important thing, what are you going to name the lodge? Well, first things first, where are you going to... No, let's go for it. Where in the world... I do mean in the world. Do you want the lodge to be?
Madrid.
Maui.
America.
Carmen Sandiego.
Let's do a bit of meta. Let's do a bit of meta gaming.
Los Angeles.
I have to be honest. The plot point is going to send you all over the world. So
Canary Islands.
America.
Crete.
Venezuela.
And we could put a maze out front.
I can see I'm going to be here all day as they just throw places.
And stuff it with bull-headed men.
Are you going to be a British lodge, or are you going to seriously? Wait, I'm asking. I don't. It's up to you where you want it. As I say, it's obviously the only fun it goes with the lodge, of course, which is if you capture anything, if you're ripping it, you want to get back. Well, if you can't get it back to the lodge quickly within 24 hours, as it were, then you can't rip it, can you? Which I always wondered why they sort of had this whole lodge thing. But there are other lodges all over the world, I suppose.
Sonny needs a time machine, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we can
And
always borrow
teleport.
somebody else's lodge to rip something and then
Indeed,
just
yeah.
transport
time
parts.
portal, right? Do we know that technology exists?
Yeah, but the lodges are secret, so how do you know where all the lodges are?
Well, the rippers will know where the lodges are, but no one else would.
Because we know the secret handshake.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I think it'd
now
be harder than that.
here's an interesting one. I bet you it's not going to tell me
know
when.
People who speak with smooth voices because they're lodgins. Lodgins. I can't.
Not a lozenge.
Yes, exactly. All right, this is a stretch. Come on now.
Talk about crickets. I feel bad
Yeah,
with you on
it
that one.
stretched so far it broke.
I just have
This is-
lozenges in my mind with
Is
my
it-
cold.
Oh, excellent. Here we go.
What kind of hexen?
Well, actually, it should. Well, we're in March 1895, aren't we? Yes, we are. We're in March 1895. Okay.
Was the next year.
Well, yeah, but
1985.
it's an interesting one. I'm just trying to find the.
Good year for me personally.
The serialized draft. Anytime. But also was made food lost known producing articles for the National Observer. Okay, so funnily enough, 1895 in the National Observer, and basically between March and June 1895 was the story written. The story of the time machine was published in magazines in March to June 1895. So it is conceivable that the idea of a time machine is in your rippers' minds, for the marvelous work of fiction is being serialized as we speak.
Well, we also saw one, remember?
I know. You saw a portal, I know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, didn't he bitch about H.G. Wells anyways? That doctor with the time portal?
I think he did, yes.
Oh,
He
he
complained
did.
about it, didn't he? He had some. I think he did moan about it. I seem to recall.
With the time portal.
Yeah.
We just actually need a teleport circle or something.
Of course, that was actually that was one of Wiggy's adventures, and not officially a Ripper's one. So I can't look it up right now, but I have got it somewhere.
But
anyway.
British Entertainment has told me is to stay away from doctors with time portals.
Okay, so lodge time. Actual fact, yeah, depending where you put in your lodge, because that will decide what order we do things today. Slightly.
Personally, I'd prefer like in London. It's much easier to do our stuff in London, but
Yeah, near Heathrow would be useful.
Near Heathrow. That's
Yeah,
a small
people,
village.
come flying
That's a
on
small
our plane.
village.
I suppose remote would be easier on concealing test subjects.
Well, I just figured if wherever we put it, the hunting lodge thing would be the good cover for why we're bringing all these strange critters in. So wherever we are,
Well, you're also going to consider like transporting them there too. If we're there we go. If we're taking something from out of London, from in London to out of London, then that could be an issue. But I also suppose taking something from outside of London into London would also apply too. So, I mean, I don't know what would necessarily be the most better issue. Thinking about it, I suppose being a little bit farther out would make it safer for me to do my experiments.
Well, as I say, quite close to London with good rail links into London, and obviously, close. As I said, was the original spa town a very popular in Georgian times, the spa town of Epsom. But obviously, you could go north of London, east of London, west of London, set up in Scotland where it's nice and remote. It's really up to you.
What's that really exclusive island in the UK? Isn't there really
Isle of
exclusive?
Man.
You mean Guernsey
Isle
or
of Man.
Jersey?
That's
Do you mean
it.
Guernsey or
Man.
Jersey?
No, the Isle of Man.
I don't think
Is
that's
that part of it?
exclusive. There are two islands in the Channel Island. There are two islands, the islands of Guernsey and Jersey, and the Channel Islands. That if you're not born there, you basically they are a bit restrictive on who could go and live there. I mean, British actor John Nettles, he spent years making one of the islands, I can't remember if it was Guernsey or Jersey, popular in a TV show called Bergerac, and they still wouldn't let him live on the island. I don't think he was rich enough.
I thought Man was like that too. I thought it was exclusive.
Yeah, you gotta be rich to live on that shit, aren't you?
Yeah, you have actually, yeah.
That'd be a good place for our lodge.
Unless you're born
Very
there, of course.
Let's buy the Mall of Kintyre. The real estate value is bound to go up.
Exactly.
These are 70s.
Think of it as an investment. And if we have a time machine, we can monetize it immediately.
No, we don't. I already tried to make use of that portal. We were told we don't have one.
But we should have one. Things
Why?
could change.
No, it was.
Don't worry about it.
The GM said we're getting that time portal machine because I had plans for that.
If you really want a portal, the whole point was, I think the point was it was deemed too dangerous and obviously dismantled. But the whole point of the portal was obviously it would only open into prehistoric Earth. So it's not a time machine.
Yeah.
It was just a door to the world of the dinosaurs.
Which would give us exclusive access. Which would give us exclusive access for a hunting safari like no other.
Indeed, but unfortunately, of course, Mina Harker deemed it was too dangerous and probably ordered it dismantled.
Yeah. So that's
okay. So you're going to have a London lodge then. A London lodge or a hunting lodge on the outskirts of London where there's more countryside to hunt in.
I guess a hunting lodge would be okay.
Hunting lodge sounds better.
I mean, we've got the medical stuff in there and the Ripper stuff, which would be my big interest. So,
well, we'd have an excuse to if we have a hunting lodge, we'd have an excuse to have pelts and other pieces of animals and things. So,
a hunting lodge is more likely to be outside of London, I would argue. So that's the only thing. That's what I'm saying, because there's not much hunting to be done in the London parks.
Would it?
Outskirts of London, it could be, yeah.
Doss, the other thing I'd like to do is I'd like to cure people of their reason loss.
Well, exactly. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Well, if you've got your lodge set up, you can certainly have some sessions in your lodge if you've got that. Yeah, I mean, so certainly.
Tell me about your mother.
Question.
Yes.
Since I have the rich edge, do we really need a mysterious benefactor?
You've already recruited one.
Yes, because the rest of us don't have the rich edge.
Well, I meant. Well, I guess. Sorry. I guess what I was trying to say is, would I not? Would we count since? Oh, since we already recruited one, we don't have to pay for it.
Well, the idea is obviously the paying for it is probably it's an edge, isn't it? So you've recruited one, a potential one, but you have to pay the points for him to be
I'm on board.
come on board and pay for stuff. Yes.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if I would, since if I was rich, I could count as a benefactor and.
Well, no.
Assist
All a
that.
mysterious benefactor gives you is an extra income. Gives every Ripper a £10 a month increase in income. That's all that does. So if you don't want it, you don't need to have it. Your mysterious benefactor is still funding stuff. It just means you don't have a wage, if that makes sense, on top of everything else. So if you don't want the mysterious benefactor, you don't need to have it. It just gives you £10 a month income per character. Extra.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't need it, but I was. Okay, so never mind. I guess it's a moot point.
A mute point.
Now, does anyone have injuries? I don't think anyone has like permanent injuries.
Before you can worry about injuries and curing people, you'll need a place to heal them. So let's get the lodge sorted.
Well, like I said, I'm pretty much okay with what had been proposed. The purpose-built hunting lodge that has the dissecting room, medical center.
I think geographically, what Doss recommended on Discord sounds good if we're going to be traveling the world, because we should be near the water. I assume there aren't any airplanes yet.
No, there's balloons.
So
there's balloons.
Oh, balloons. Okay, well, we're going to be sailing the world. If we're going to be traveling, we're going to be sailing. So somewhere between London and the water and a good port would be good for a hunting lodge.
Well, as I say, the added advantage of placing it in that area is I know it well, so I can sort of.
What year is it?
1895.
1895.
Yes, it's been proven that you can get around the world in 80 days.
That's fictional, though, isn't it?
Is it? Is it?
In the original book, they never used balloons. They only added those in for the movies.
And the cartoon.
Yeah.
This is a fictional world, after all.
I know, I'm joking. FAB, Flying Air Base 1. Very true indeed. Did I just add it to the right place? Yes, I did. Okay, so so we're going to say you're going to have the right. Well, in that case, I'm going to say it is, for argument's sake, because the other thing about the Epsom area is obviously you've got it basically nearby. You're very close to what's left of the Henry VIII's great hunting grounds at Nonsuch Park. So you've got lots of parkland there. Epsom itself, you've got all around the Epsom Downs, so that's large expanses. And then you're not far from Windsor Great Park again, so that's another big area of, open area. So you're only 16 miles from the centre of London, and there's good train line from Epsom to London, because of the Derby and everything. So everyone's quite eager, uses the trains there, so you're okay on that score. So we'll put you there for ease, we'll say. And I'm just zooming in a bit to see how well this comes out, this map. It's not the best of quality maps. I just found it, but London are the suburbs, and if you consider there's Wimbledon. You got Wimbledon. Actually, Wimbledon with Wimbledon Common, but obviously, so you've got that's the train line to Windsor there, but Western Railways and all that, and so basically there's Rains Park. So you're literally just off the edge of the map about there. Yeah, that's Rains Park there. Give you an idea of location.
I'm not seeing the map. Did you push it to everybody or?
So did I not share?
Now
Let's
I
try
see
that
it.
again.
Now
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's the train line to Windsor coming in. There's Clapham Junction. So it's all coming out of Waterloo, which is should be about there. There basically Epsom is just off the line there. Gives you an idea. You've got Wimbledon Common there, which is a large amount of open land. So lots of, you're that whole area is quite a lot of greenery. And as I say, you're a straight railway line into London. What's the logic of using that sort of area? But there's nothing to stop you going north, of course, if you want to. But otherwise, I'll say.
Well, except we would be living in the north.
Okey-dokey.
I'm
And actually, I did actually look. There were some hunting lodges. So.
kidding.
Okie dokie. Right. So that should, you can give it a different name whenever you want. So it obviously starts off as rank 1, but then obviously I said you can every okay, let's minimize that. Lodges are upgraded at the end of the session. So to increase the lodge rank, it costs a number of lodge points equal to the next rank. So how many points do you want to spend to increase your lodge rank?
Can we put it in Swindon?
Swindon?
Yeah.
Why? Is that where the office is set?
That's where the office is set, yeah.
Okay. How many points? What level lodge do you want? Where's the lodge table?
How many points do we have to spend? And what do we need
25.
to spend them on?
Each of you have 5 lodge points. It's on your character sheet.
We have a rank. Proposed thing is rank 5, which would cost 15 points. That gets us dining, meeting room, sleeping quarters, library, ripper lab, and a workshop. With a total of 5 edges. We would have a bonus to social roles. We can sleep up to a bunch of people. We get the modifier to research rolls, to ripper tech rolls. The workshop gives us a bonus to repair rolls.
Okay.
What do we have to do to get a guard on the door that will not let, say, for example,
That would be an
random
edge.
policemen in?
That would be an edge with either defenses or guards.
Yeah. Guards would be great. I do not want, the bobbies coming in.
Oh, wouldn't be the guards wouldn't stop police necessarily.
Well, I'm willing to pay for the ones that will.
Okay, lodge facilities. So you get dining room and a meeting room at level 1. You get sleeping quarters at level 2. You get a library at level 3. You get ripper labs at level 4. You get a workshop at level 5.
What do you do with a workshop compared to a ripper lab?
Repair rolls for fixing stuff.
For repairing equipment?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
you
we
can
kind
have-
of want.
You can have a
Do we
maximum
want
of
our own
5
space?
edges.
Do we need
We
a
want our
space
own lab,
to healing and
ideally.
That's
That would cost 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus
there is
4.
one of the things that they were proposed buying was a medical center.
yeah.
The surgery requires a rank. To have the surgery as part of the lodge requires a rank 8 building. But one of the proposed things was a medical center, which allows healing rolls to be made after the golden hour, extending that time to a day. Injuries can be treated within that time as if they've been attended within the golden hour.
That seems to me to be very important, given that
Which is an edge. However, I have also just taken the surgeon edge, which gives us the I get 1 attempt to remove a wound after the golden hour or repair permanent injury, and I get a bonus to installing ripper tech. So
okay.
the medical center would be a good add-on, but is not critically
It's important.
necessary, but it would be a good thing because that would extend it up to 24 hours rather than 1 attempt to fix you.
Is there a place to do psychiatric healing? Is there such a thing?
You could do that. Well, you've got a meeting room. You've got a meeting room.
Sanitarium?
You've got the meter room. You've got, obviously, the point is you've got the meeting room, social to social interactions when conducting business in lodges. You've also got the library, so you can obviously I mean, the point I'm trying to say is there are rooms you can use, if that makes sense. You don't necessarily have a dedicated one, but that doesn't mean you can't have one. I'm just checking. Medical
I'm sure
centre.
I would suggest
I'm-
that as being the
That's a medical centre, wouldn't it?
specialist research, maybe.
Why don't we buy a spa? That way we have good location for downtime.
Indeed.
It has
That
medical
is an
life
edge, isn't it?
facilities.
Then it doesn't have to be a hunting lodge so much. You can have it concealed to camouflage to look like a regular building. It could be a school, a shop, warehouse, which is what you're doing anyway. Is you're concealing as a hunting lodge, but you can always conceal it as a spa if you'd rather than a hunting lodge.
That would also be a public fascade, which would add lodge
Yeah.
modifier to the monthly income.
Yeah, public
You could have
facade.
medical. You get a medical like facilities, so we could have stuff like that. We could have staff who are professionals for stuff, and it could grow and sprawl.
I mean, a medical centre would be what you'd want to. I would argue what you want for an alienist. You might have the surgeon edge, which means you could. The point is, with the surgeon edge, you can treat people outside of thingies, yes. But if for some reason you need treating, then the medical centre means someone else can treat you.
Yeah.
And also, I will say that would let the alienist to do stuff. Basically, also can be used by an alienist to help with people's reason.
All right. I'd say go for that then.
So you want a medical centre?
Well,
Yes.
I mean, okay. I was going to say, if
As the new facilities become available, each rank automatically gains the new facility associated with that rank, which is added. Each facility grants a special effect. So a medical centre
Allows healing up to 24 hours.
Yep.
And it also allows healing of the surgeon in the party.
So what I can't work out is how many points dodge edges. That's what I'm looking for.
Each ed costs 2, I think it said.
In addition,
Find a lodge
designate.
ed, 2
2,
points.
6. We need 10 points for
Okay, so
a
medical
level.
centre.
We need 10 points for medical facility. We need 10 points for level 4 lodge. Right there.
15. Oh yeah, we need 10 points for level 4, 15 for level 5.
Do we want level 5 then? Are we going for level 5 or do we want to do that later? How does that work?
Well, level 4 only allows us to buy 4 edges.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's go for
how many
level
edges do we need?
Well,
You've got 4 left.
the optimal balance right now is rank 5 and 5 edges, because that's all 25 points, and that's all. I mean, we'd have to move it up to rank 5 anyways to get more edges, or we'd have to make a second lodge, is the other option.
Some of the edges cost
So
more
they
than 1
were-
point, correct?
No, all the
Oh, they
edges
don't?
cost 2 points. It says
All
that
the-
on page 35.
Okay. Well, then we can't afford all the edges we want, but we could get the level 5 lodge.
Yeah, we can.
We can afford. I thought you said they cost 2.
Is that not sharing when I'm sharing the lodge? Sorry, are you not seeing what I'm sharing of the lodge?
10 points to
Yeah.
get to level 5, and then
Each
10
edge,
points.
each edge costs 2 points. Each rank costs the new rank. So rank 1 costs
Okay,
1,
so we got a bug.
rank 2 costs 2, 3 costs 3. So rank 4
Oh, it's
costs
15.
10
It's
points.
15 plus 10. Sorry, I was doing the math wrong. I thought it was 20.
Yep.
15 plus 10. Got it.
Yeah,
There's
so we
two,
can.
there's 2 lodge buttons. How annoying is that? There's obviously horror lodges and lodges. So lodges under campaign, you should have lodges, and there you should be able to see the lodge I've created for you guys.
So unless we want to have 2 lodges, spend rank 5 and 5 edges is like the maximum benefit we can get. We can make a second lodge if you want to do 4 and make like a public meeting place in Pittsburgh. I mean, sorry, not in Pittsburgh, but in London. Like have an actual club somewhere in London that we could.
If we're going to do a second lodge, we should do it somewhere else in the world if we're
Yeah.
world hopping.
Well, let's do it once we
only
get
if
more
we're doing
lodge
world
points.
hopping.
Let's do a second law, because the reason why I'm thinking there is we can find out where we're going to be spending the bulk of our time and have a better estimate. Like, if we buy a second lodge and we do it in Asia, and then we find that we're all spending all our time in the Americas.
Well, from a
Well, yeah, that's what I
metagaming
was gonna say
perspective,
is-
from a metagaming perspective, as the plot point campaign goes on, you'll be going all over the world. Logically speaking, from a when you're picking your own adventures, you know how you discuss what you want to do next. Then primarily you'd be heading out from your lodge to do those, if that makes sense. So a London lodge. A near London lodge gives you the advantage that you can work. You're close enough to London to go into London, but as we've already said, you've also got the whole of the south coast and southeast England is where you already are. So you've got the half of the country from your lodge you've got covered within a day's journey, if that makes sense, for you when you want to do your own missions. So the plot points will happen. The actual campaign adventures will happen over the year. The rest of the campaign. But when it comes to the non-plot point adventures, which will send you all over the world, most of the time you will have control over where you go, or think these will come up. So if you build your lodge here near London, which gives you the advantages of being near London and all that, then most of the adventures you will happen in and around London and the south coast of London, and possibly up to Scotland and Wales and stuff, because with trains and stuff you can still get back from them within 24 hours. So if you build a lodge in the UK, most of your adventures will take place in the UK, apart from the ones where you're sent all over the world due to major events, is what I'm trying to say. Doesn't mean you can't have a lodge somewhere else if you want one. There's nothing in the rules that says you can't have more than one lodge. So if you do want to build lodges all over the world, there's nothing to stop you.
Joss, you could just tell us where our lodge is, and I think we'd be happy.
Well, we've worked that bit out. So you just need to work out. As far as I can tell, you spent 17 points. You spent 17 of your 25 lodge points, and you can have 4 more lodge edges at the moment. Which means, obviously, 19, 21, 23. You can buy 3 more edges if you want to buy them now, is what I'm trying to say. So you can have a chapel, you can have it concealed, you can have a public facade. If you want to make it a public hunting lodge, you can do that. If you want to make it a spa and hunting lodge, you can do that. It's a public facade if you want. Mystical location, well, that could be an interesting one. No one's got an arcade. Yeah, I mean, you can pay one of the ones you can have is you can have it on a mystical location. Then any member of the lodge with an arcane background gains 2 power points.
Oh, that's nice.
And that's just a lodge edge. You just happen to build it over a powerful ley line, an ancient burial ground, or some other source of mystical energy.
Are we near?
Yeah,
a
I said
canal,
Epsom, so I can do
by
one.
any chance?
Logically, there were canals all over the place. The local river would be the Hogsmill, which runs into the Thames.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if we could ship stuff in. Like if we captured something big, could steam up the Thames and
That's a
put it on
very
the
good
canal.
question. And now map of.
I think it was close. I think the Windsor line was close to the river.
How do we get where do we see the list of lodge edges?
If you go
On the table or page
In the book.
page like 36, 37 in the PDF.
or if
Oh,
if you haven't got access to the PDF in the modules, if you just open up the Ripper's Resurrected game player's handbook, Lodge Edges, it's a link.
Ledges.
Lodge Edges, yeah, ledges. Very difficult to hear, friends. Okay, let's see if we can sort that out.
Guide.
Okay, I see him.
Books. Player's guide. Okay.
It's not. They're not listed in the books for what. They're not actually listed out in the book.
Sitting rules, lodges.
The lodges are sample lodges, it looks like. Do we do the Epsom hunting lodge? Is that that's ours?
Until you give it a proper name, yes. And choose on your public facade, yes.
Given our obsession with traveling back to the prehistoric past, I think we should call it Bradbury's Thunder.
It's not an obsession. I just saw it as a money-making opportunity, as well as a matter of resources for being able to get stuff for Ripper Tech that would be exclusive.
No, man, I'm just being silly. I don't. I'm not calling anybody out. So I just was making a reference to the Bradbury story where they travel back in the past and change time.
Right.
I
So
don't read Bradbury much as a
you
Highland
got,
guy.
as I say, you got 3 more edges to deal with, or we can worry about them later. I don't mind.
I got
We don't have to spend large
still
points
have down
now.
the list.
If we're not
Still
sure
have-
where we're going, we can just hold them.
I think that'd probably be smarter. We don't want to blow our wad and then
The
be
only
hung out.
the only limitation is, I think the only limitation I'll point out is upgrading your lodge can only be 1 upgrade. Upgrading your lodge is 1 upgrade per end of adventure, isn't it? A lodge may only upgrade once per session. So the point is, what I'm trying to say is, if you spend those, you could buy 3 lodge edges now, or it'll take you 3 adventures to spend them later. Is all I'm trying to say.
Okay, I have the Resurrected Player's Guide open. Where can I find the lodge edges in here? Because I don't see it listed. I see
35.
lodges.
When you go to
35.
lodge, it talks about what it takes to build a lodge, and then it goes through each level. When you have level 1, you get this, and it explains it, and so on and so forth. And down below all of that, it starts talking about the edges that are available.
Are you talking about the setting rules under the setting rules chapter?
Where you just found the link for lodges, click on
Yeah.
that, and then scroll down. I think it's like 5 pages, and it starts talking about lodge edges.
Common implants, Victorian life, Age of Empires, maybe. Yeah, whatever. No joy, but that's okay.
Oh, okay, let me. Well, are you in the player's guide or the GM's guide?
I'm
That
in the
makes a
player's
difference.
guide. I'm in the
Okay.
player's guide.
Okay, page
If
35.
you've opened, I've just put a picture in the Rippers Discord chat. If you've got the Rippers Resurrected Player's Guide Suede open, in the modules tab, not the books tab, you should see all the lovely
modules
entries.
tab.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my problem. I went
Yeah.
to the book.
I know they've added this books thing in, and the problem with the books thing is the book only lists the reference manual, so all the other links we created aren't visible in books. That's why I still say use modules. So if you look at the modules tab, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the bottom. Once you've got the mod, you could open that. That will open up. The other way to get it, and I'm assuming you guys can see it, if you go on your start hand bar. On the right hand side on the bar, if you ignore lodges under player, I think that's horror companion lodges. So because I've turned on the horror companion, we're getting 2 sets of lodges. Under campaign, there should be a lodges button. If you click on that lodges button, you'll see a link to the lodge you're creating, and at the top there's also buttons for facilities and edges. That's the other way to get to the edge list. So there we go.
Where's the campaign? Where's the campaign button? I'm sorry.
Do you not have campaign as a player on the right hand side? It's a long time since I've.
It's a header.
It's a header.
On the right.
Yeah.
It's library player campaign character.
I have campaign, yeah. And
Yeah.
then lodges?
And then lodges.
Lodges?
Yeah, you have to have it open.
Lodges. No, it just shows lodges.
There's 1 on the player and 1 on the campaign. Right. Okay.
Yeah. You have to use the campaign lodges, not the player lodges. The player lodges is the one you created, and the campaign lodges is the one I created. And they're completely different because Rippers lodges and horror lodges are completely different entities, it would appear.
And the lodges just shows a lot of different lodges, including Epsom.
You might have to change the list from all to uncategorized or basically. But it still gives you the vicinities, the edges. But you should see the Epsom Hunting Lodge, which is the lodge I've just. You can rename and you should be able to edit because it's a player one. I've shared it with you guys.
Definitely see that. Don't
It's
see
locked.
edges.
You can't-
Don't see edges. Just see lodges. But that's fine.
It's read only for us.
Okay, well, I just did it for you guys. So, what I'm trying to say is, do you want to spend your 3 more edges now, or do you want to save them, but you can only buy 1 edge per session, including today's session as well at the end, of
Let's
course.
spend them now, please.
Okay, do it now then.
We've got 9 more sessions or 12 more sessions in this game.
Hence, we don't have to. That doesn't have to end at the end of the year.
You
We're having
unlock
fun.
the lodge. Does it become unlocked for us, Kevin?
It is unlocked, so I'm not sure why. It might be a GM only thing to stop players fiddling with it.
You're getting errors if you click on any of the other lodges. So
let's add mystical location.
You want mystical location? Okay.
Do we want specialist research for a bonus?
What does that do?
It gives you a bonus to a specific knowledge skill. I think using the library or lab grants a bonus to the chosen knowledge's skill roll equal to the lodge's modifier. So I guess it'd be +5.
It will basically, because obviously that's obviously one that they didn't update the text for when they did the upgrade. So that would basically, I'm going to say that would be a smarts skill.
Oh, it'd be specific. They let you have more than one specialist research.
Yeah, you can take it multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah, you could take it multiple times.
So you can have a Rippertech specialist research. You can have occult specialist.
That could be a big bonus if we're doing a lot of surgeries.
Yeah,
or
that'll
extracting potions.
That'll help with healing.
But I think you'll find you don't need it for the Ripper's lab, because I think the modifier's already in there for Ripper's lab. So you don't need a Rippertech one there, because that's what the Ripper lab does. Your Ripper's lab, any Ripper lab will get a +2 modifier automatically. But if you want an occult section in the library, then you take specialist research and you put specialist research occult. If you want to take what else we got? So let's have a look at the skills. Need to attribute smarts. You could have an academic, an alchemy. You know what I mean? You're just an occult
research for time machines.
How do you open a journal entry once it's been added? Should be on the journal tab, shouldn't it? On your character sheet.
Yeah, maybe my click button's not working. It's just nothing's opening.
Well, let me close mine and then.
Huh.
Oh, okay, yeah. It looks like the journal extension doesn't work with lodges, I'm afraid.
How much do we care about income in this campaign?
Okay, but now my maps aren't working either. Or is it just me?
Well, the pocket map will not work for me.
How much we are concerned with income depends upon how tightly the game master is going to take into account travel expenses.
Because there are things that gain edges that gain income. Secure cells actually have essentially areas for captives and research and interrogation and experimentation. So that could be something if we're bringing something back.
Right. I'm going to.
Each time this edge is chosen, the lodge adds its 2 more cells.
17, 19. Okay, so I'm going. Yeah. So I'm going to need some of you to spend some lodge points in a minute, but we'll do that at the end. Okie dokie. So you've got 15, 17, 19 lodge points spent. So what else are you buying?
So we're gonna build the initiative underneath London.
I got that reference. Do you want secure cells then? Are you going for the specialist research? That's question number 1. I'll just spend 5 lodge points.
I like that one. I like that one.
Okay, what do you want is... Okay, what do you want that to be specialised in? Occult? Is that occult? Academics? Healing?
I'd go for academics, but I'm a student.
As far as I'm concerned, a specialist library, don't forget, is only usable when you're in your lodge and in this research section. It gives you a bonus to add their skill. So do you want it as a healing one, or do you want it as you know what I mean? can have an occult section in your library, or you can have a.
So wait, how does it work?
It gives you a you choose a knowledge skill, and you get a bonus on that knowledge skill. So we choose a
When
knowledge
used in the
skill.
library.
What is the
And that's-
bonus though? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's
Sorry,
your
what is what?
it's the lodge modifier bonus.
Yeah,
So
look
at the
at
moment,
the
+2.
lodge chart.
I see.
Yeah, look at
Plus-
the lodge chart, and that'll tell you what your bonus is.
Yeah, I think healing. What do you use to make? I think healing was going to be most synergistic with the medical center.
Rippertech is its own. Yeah, Rippertech is its own particular skill.
And it's in the Ripper lab. So you're okay on that
And,
score.
and Ripper Lab itself adds to knowledge Rippertech rolls made while using it. So we don't need a special. I mean, we could get specialized, but we don't need specialized for Rippertech. That's already included in the Ripper Lab.
Okay.
As far as the reason, that's the sanitarium at rank 11.
1% large to its finest feature. So that each time the rivers take this edge.
And that's it's 9.
The
9.
dissecting room would
13.
add to Rippertech. Medical center adds to healing.
Do we want secure access? Somebody
17.
seemed to want to secure the lodge.
17.
Well, if you're doing, if we're doing
21.
an open, if we're doing it as an open thing to gain money, then the secure access would kind of be.
No, that would just mean that the back rooms are secure.
There we go.
It
Well-
sounds like it's lodge. Sounds like it's for the entire lodge, so that could be different than having a public facility.
Well, but why would it let you have both if it's either or?
Well,
I'm just saying the way it's written, that's not how it's written. Only those people with the proper key code or sacred amulet
that would probably combine. Yeah.
may access the lodge. Period.
Right,
But we
access the lodge, not the facade. Anybody can access the facade.
Okay.
Yeah. The facade adds to streetwise rolls and adds to monthly income.
Yeah, except
if your network now Streetwise again obviously doesn't exist in Suede, so if you're networking in the public facade area, you'll get the launch modifier roll. So you can use the public facade to talk to people and find things out. You can invite people in as well. Do you know what I mean? So you can question them and get a +2 modifier on your
We should install an escape
Let's
tunnel.
kind of take a step. Let's take a step back. What do we want for this lodge to do? Do we want it to make money? Do we want it to?
We should
do
install an
research?
escape tunnel from the secure area to the facade.
That's
So
why I'm saying is like
protected.
let's figure out what we want to do with this lodge. Do we want to focus on research, making money? What? That would be, I think, what we need to make sure first, because that'll make selecting everything else easier.
London is expensive.
which is why you built
Probably
outside.
even back
Epsom's a spa town, so it's somewhere. Epsom's a spa town. You get all the rich people coming in for the derby. That's another reason I thought I could put you out here. It's also a place where people come for their health. You got you got spring waters down the road in Yule, also where the Yule witch trial took. Well, not where the trial took place. The trial took place in Southwark, but they did have a witch, which is a nice mystical connection. Obviously, also you realise there's a ley line running through the centre of Epsom because that's where you put your lodge. Which means anyone with an arcane background, give yourselves an extra 2 power points.
Yep.
Which would benefit a couple of us.
That's a permanent addition. I think the haberdasher's shop is the facade to the Kingsman. Yeah. Oh, good call. Thank you, Tango. I've not actually got around to watching Kingsman, but those of you who have watched Kingsman, I've been told to think of if you've seen the Kingsman, they've got a haberdasher's shop as the front for it. So, that's where people come in and you could. So a public facade, if you're having it as a hunting lodge, then that's what you'll be having. If you're having it as a hunting lodge or a hunting and spa lodge, you can get both in there. But if it's a hunting lodge, which is what you've currently got, You're going to have people coming. You're going to have people coming in. It'll be a social place because obviously hunting lodges where people relax afterwards. It could have been fox hunting. It could have actually been deer hunting. There's private land nearby. You obviously you can't hunt the public land, but if you've got a hunting lodge, you'll have agreements with local people. Maybe you've got some land set aside, so every so often you just have a grouse shoot. That's what a hunting lodge would give you. But also, if you wanted it to be if you want to go with a spa as well, then obviously you're going to have baths there where people will come in for medical healing and all that sort of stuff. Which then also, obviously, maybe then you've also got other alienists on staff, as it were, to help with normal people. So that was what the public facade would give you, a sort of a public front to hide the building, as opposed to sort of, social and resources indeed. Don't forget, you don't buy everything now. As time goes on, you can add stuff. So if you feel later on that you need an escape tunnel because maybe if there's some, you get the indication that someone's worked out where your lodge is and they're planning assaults on it, then you might want an escape tunnel. You've got to think about it like irregulars and stuff like that. A hunting lodge or a public facade, as long as you can come up with a logical reason why you've got a public facade, and then why it's got guards or irregulars or stuff, that sort of thing. That's where that comes in handy, you see. So it's up to you what you want. You've spent 23 lodge points. I've spent 23 lodge points out of all your character sheets. So you've got one edge left. What edge do you want? Or I'll give Aldous back 2 lodge points. I don't mind either way. And you can think about it and buy your last edge at the end of the session.
What edges did we have? Because I'm not seeing them anywhere. I see the Epsom Hunting Lodge, but all it says is rank 5. There's nothing in notes.
Are you not seeing the rest of the screen? That's crap. You're not seeing the facilities or any of the edges.
It's very dining room, library, meeting room, Ripper Lab, sleeping quarters, workshop.
You might have to close it and reopen it. Then.
Let me find it and reopen it. Okay, now I'm seeing stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm seeing it too.
Good. It's not one of those quirks about Fantasy Grounds and updating open windows. So you've got one edge left. You can have a chapel. You can conceal it. You can have defences. You can have a dissecting room. You can have an escape tunnel. You can have a faithful following. Sorry, Tank Girl says escape tunnel. You can have guards. It can be hidden. It can have irregulars.
I'm only seeing 3 edges.
That's all you've got. And you've got one more edge to buy.
We should have 5 edges.
You can have a maximum of 5 edges. You've got enough points to buy 4.
To buy 5.
Oh, I thought we had 25 points.
Oh, sorry. You have enough to buy 5. I apologise. Yes. Sorry.
I think we should have it.
I would vote for it. I would vote for it following.
I was gonna say the purpose built seems like a good one because that boosts the modifier of the lodge, which would give a plus. Move it from a +2 to a +3 for everything that we can use it for. So I thought that was a good one to.
Yeah.
Purpose built, okay.
I like World Leader too. I like World Leader.
But that's not available until 12.
Oh my god! Same people are talking over and over and over.
Oh, okay.
Escape tunnel is favoured by Tank Girl for the record. But are you? So this is your last one. This is your okay. As I say, I'm going. Obviously, yeah, that's the 23 lodge points I've spent of yours.
Vote for dissecting room.
I do like the dissecting room. That would be personally as a character. That would be his
dissecting room. Okie dokie.
That'd be his preference for it. But he wants to develop Ripper Tech and stuff like that, so that's why he's up for it.
Let's see. I'm just looking at your.
How many lodge points do we all have?
I'm just working out. I spent 5. I'm just making sure I haven't spent too many. 5, 9. I just want to make sure because it's really annoying you guys can't spend them. 5, 9, 13, 17, 23. Right, yeah, I've spent 25. I've spent 25 lodge points. So you do.
How have you spent 25?
We're missing an edge then.
You're missing one edge.
Let me update it real quick.
I'll just spent 5, so I took 5 off. I took 5 off Aldous. I took 4 off the rest of you and 2 off Tommy. Tom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 21, 23. I've only spent 23. Sorry.
Okay.
I can't do my own sums. I've spent 23. If you want another edge, I'll spend 2 more of Tom's lodge points. There you go. And therefore, you now can buy 1 more edge.
Dissecting room, or anybody else got a suggestion?
Jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi.
That'll be the public's facade having it as a spa.
Oh, we didn't take public.
Don't forget, you can always add the dissecting room in as your next upgrade.
Yeah.
It's Tom, not Tom E. Yeah. So do you want the public facade as your last one so you can have a grand opening and all that? Or do you want the dissecting rooms and go public later?
Just go public now. That's fine.
And if you want the income, the mysterious benefactor is the better edge.
Yeah. There will be expenditure costs when I remember to charge them. I'll be honest there. So, but a public facade, obviously. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if you, I mean, the easiest thing to say is if you go with the mysterious benefactor or the public facade, we won't worry too much about cost because obviously you've got those. If you go with the mysterious benefactor as well as the public facade, then obviously you can travel in nicer classes. I'll fudge it, don't you worry. But yeah. So public facade or mysterious benefactor, I won't worry too much about making you pay for everything because that way it makes it just a little more behind the scenes. It's up to you. Dissecting rooms now, public later. Okie dokie.
Oh, whatever.
Well, sure, cool. Well, hang on. It's the easy way to do it, isn't it? And then we can get on. There you are.
Okay.
Is there a voting mechanism in Fantasy Grounds? Should we just vote on this stuff? Oh, there it is.
There's an up-down vote. That's it.
Yeah. So
there's an extension which improved votes, but I forget what it is.
Yes, there is. I know I can't remember what it's called, and I do think I've got it somewhere. So if you want the dissecting rooms, vote yes. If you want the public facade, vote no. That's how we'll do this.
I want dissecting rooms after public facade.
Well, that's what we're voting for. What you're having now. So if you want, yes, a vote of yes will get you dissecting rooms. A vote of no is a vote for public facade. Oh,
yeah, we need some tiebreakers.
We're going to have to say abstaining is not an option. Unless you
Did I get a Benny for the logically
Oh, who's
speaking
abstaining here?
observation?
Yeah, 2 people haven't voted. I've voted. Who hasn't?
I voted.
Why did you give Bennies to the people who didn't vote? I thought you gave Bennies for voting.
Because Lone Wolf just turned up, said there's a sale going on Fantasy Grounds, and while he's here, the bennies must flow.
Oh. Did you see my logically speaking observation? From way back?
I saw it. You spelled it wrong. It's not.
Yes, I did.
With a DG.
You're pointing. You're pouring yourself for a Betty. Sorry, I'll be transferred there. Okay, so it looks like it's a hung decision, and therefore you'll be choosing. You're not getting your last. You're not getting
I'm rolling a d6. The low 1 through 3 is dissecting room. 4 through 6 is public facing.
I was going to say there's 4 votes for dissecting room now.
That's 4 votes for dissecting room. Yeah, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. There we are. We have a dissecting room. Wonderful stuff. Right, now we got the lodge sorted out. We can start. Wonderful.
It was fate that we had a dissecting room.
So if we're building a dissecting room, do we have to put a wall straight down the middle?
Oh, that's
Oh,
funny.
that's
That
good.
would be a
Ju-
bisecting room. I'm
Oh
sorry.
no. If it's a dissecting room like for us, there's going to be a balcony for viewing.
Oh.
Yes.
So we toss a junior mint in the cavity of some monstrosity.
We have to
Right.
add a whole nother story just to go public.
Righty ho. Right. That's good. So, right. As I say, it's Monday, the 25th of March. You basically, you've spent the whole night trawling around. You spent the whole night.
Looking through lodge catalogs, figuring out what we wanted for our lodge.
You spent the whole night trawling all over Epsom Downs area, looking for, basically trying to find this. There's been reports of a strange animal seen on the downs, a large black cat. But you spent the whole night trawling all over the place and not found anything, I'm afraid to say. But that's the way it goes sometimes. However, as you head back to the lodge and you clear up and everything, there is a knock at the door.
Oh, wait. Before we do this, do I need to make some healing rolls?
Oh yes, sorry, yes, go for it. Sorry, heaving reason. I forgot about that. Sorry, yeah.
We all need reason healed.
Did anyone
Treatment.
have injuries that need healed too? I didn't think so, but figured I'd better ask.
All clear here.
I think everyone's been okay on the reason loss, haven't they?
Oh, reason loss?
Yeah.
How do you know if you have reason loss?
I have reason loss. I know that. Reason is your spirits plus half your spirits plus 2,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So Bartholomew suffered some reason loss by the look of things.
Yeah, I've got some reason
Apparently
loss for
Toxic
mine.
suffered some as well.
It's also a stat on the sheet.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not clear whether you've lost any from the stat. You have to do the math.
If you do the middle mouse button, it will show you.
Yeah.
Click the
Middle mouse button on reason will let you
Got
show
it.
you any modifiers.
Great.
I don't know how
Okay.
you do it if you're on a Mac and you don't have the middle mouse button for the record.
Right click.
Thank you.
Fortunately, I have a.
I thought they fixed it that they had mouse click on Mac mouses.
The journal thing is really.
Oh, info. Yeah. No, it supports the middle mouse, but you don't necessarily have a middle. You don't necessarily have a mouse that has. It doesn't require a mouse with a middle button.
Window as well.
You can just double click too. That'll do it.
But he's right. You can right click and then choose the info menu.
And you can double click as well, yeah. Well, there you go.
You can double click.
Oh, you can just double click. Well, there you go. Okay.
Oh,
Giant Shiro goes with talented therapy. The doctor may make a healing roll once per month to help the character recover. So, actual
Every
fact,
button
obviously,
leads to an
I'm
info
going to
page.
say, okay, so, yeah. So I'm going to actually move things on a bit, actually, because obviously you've been setting up the lodge. So I moved it on from the 22nd, so I'll move it on to the 22nd of April. So you had a month to treat everyone.
All right. Who's first?
I'll go first.
I'm going to use boost trait on all of these.
I assume you'll be using the specialist research room to do deal with that.
Without a doubt.
Can I assist? Can Carl help on any of this? I don't know what skill
You've
it
got
is.
to have the alienist edge, it says, I think. So I don't think you can assist on this one.
No joy
Okay.
on that one.
No. Anyway,
But he will get the plus 3 from the.
he will
lodge.
indeed. Yeah. So for each success and raise, 1 point of reason may be regained. Reason cannot be increased above the starting level. So as far as I can tell, Tatsuya's lost reason and Bartholomew's lost reason, as far as I can tell.
I've lost reason too. So
Okay. The Deranged Hero with the Doctor may make 1 healing roll per month to help the character. Yep. So there doesn't seem to be any limitation, and I've just lost all their traits.
I'm just doing a Stuart Smalley in the mirror.
Aldous is okay. It's Pants, isn't it? So Pants is okay.
You're smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like you.
Reason loss, and oh well, okay, yeah. Sorry, Franz has. He's just got down to earth as well.
Yes.
Even Crescent is superior status. Do not be concerned, indeed. Okay, so yeah, Sir Bartholomew, Tatsuya, and Franz all have reason loss, but you can't heal yourself. You'll have to see another alienist. You can't talk to yourself. You'll need to talk to another alienist to heal yourself.
Oh no. Oh no.
No, that's not strictly true. Sorry. You just spent any other mental institution at the end of each month the hero automatically gains one reason. The brutality. So yeah, I will say once per month. Yeah, you spend a month resting, which you have spent the whole month dealing with the lodge and being there. Franz automatically gains a point of reason just for basically being in the facilities.
Oh.
So that's.
How does that work?
You're always taking care of yourself. It's usually called today you'd call it meditation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Self-care.
Do I get a point reason up to my regular reason, or?
Yeah. So basically, the point is, if you put someone in a standard mental institution, they automatically gain 1 point of reason a month.
Oh,
they're stuck in there for a whole month. So I'm going to say if you literally choose to spend one whole month, obviously after this you will actually have to choose a month downtime to heal people of reason loss, is what I'm trying to say, because you can't go on adventures and stuff, as it were. But once per month you can rest and you'll automatically gain a point of reason. Okay, so let's see what happens with your sessions with Sir Bartholomew.
All right.
Next time we bump the lodge, we need to look at the fences. The lodge can defend itself. Like the X-Men danger room or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it can blast people. It can entangle people. It can do all sorts of stuff.
Can you add +1 to my healing? Or +1 die? I'm going to use boost trait on myself. Do I need to make a roll for that?
Oh, you can do that. Right click on it, and then like the top left corner position will give you a booster lower.
Yeah.
Boost rate. Power me of. Okay. It's automatic if I want to do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Traits. Right click. Trait info. What do I do?
So you're on the trait. You're on your traits tab, and you want to boost your healing. Right click on healing. At 11 o'clock, there's a sort of circular arrow. When you hover over it, says boost low. You click on that, and then again at 11 o'clock. Yep, there you go. You see boost +1. That's the easiest way to do it out of the combat tracker. That's why it's there. So the idea is you obviously before every session you're boosting your healing, and obviously you're resting, so you're getting your power points back. So that's fine. So make your month make your end of month alienist healing roll on Sir Bartholomew. That's 9. That's 2 points of reason restored. Okay, Ripotex -2.
Hey, it's a session today. Thank you for opening up to me.
So that should be Sir Bartholomew there.
That's very disturbing.
Most of our sessions involved a couple of good beers of, beer, a couple of mugs of good beer, and just kind of cigars.
Actually, that's interesting. Sir Bartholomew doesn't have reason loss to be treated because he's got Ripotech in him. I'll just transfer that over to Tatsuya instead.
Oh, okay, I see.
I thought you said Ripotech could be reason loss could be.
I was mistaken. It would appear.
I can only heal temporary reason loss, not.
Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. Sorry. So yes, Bartholomew does not have reason loss to be treated, but Tatsuya did. He's received 2 points of reason treatment, so he's fine. There we go. Wonderful. Anyway, there's a knock at the door.
Who is it?
Greetings.
Konnichiwa.
Opening the door, you find you discover that it's a couple of policemen not from the Metropolitan Police, but from the Surrey Police Constabulary. They request that you accompany them to the local police station. They need to.
Assistance?
They need your assistance. Yes.
I don't like their tone. Is this an investigation or is this a consultation?
We have been requested to deliver you to Whitechapel Police Station.
Oh boy.
Deliver, not escort.
Koozie.
Yeah, I'm
Indeed,
gonna back out
yes.
of the room. Try to be surreptitious as possible about it, but I'm gonna kind of back out of the room.
You haven't got an
How
escape.
far?
You haven't got an escape route. So there are police watching the front and back, but you can refuse to come along.
I've
Well,
done
I'm
nothing
just
wrong.
backing
I
out of
have
the room.
nothing
I'm
I know
to
you
say,
back out
though.
the room. No, they're just standing outside the front door, but looking, and you stealthily sneak away and peek and look out the back, and you notice
Yes.
there are other police officers around the building.
Carl is as innocent as the morning dew. He collects a
I
book
will-
so he has something to read, and he goes
I will
with the
summon
book.
a coach for us.
Summon a coach.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now, don't forget, obviously, some of you have favours and stuff, so you might be able to call in favours with the Metropolitan Police. Obviously, this is the Surrey Police. You haven't had much chance to get to know them yet. But unless anyone really wants to try and evade the police, I'm going to assume that we'll fade out and we'll fade out for adverts, and then when fade back in, we'll find you basically in each individual questioning areas in Whitechapel Police Station.
But yeah, well, I'm not going to fight or trying to escape or anything like that. I'll
Yeah.
summon an appropriate coach, and then
Yes.
they can escort us to Whitechapel.
No problem at all.
So, Dot,
Yes.
I'm gonna try and read their minds to see if they're here after my indiscretions.
It should be pointed out that this is Surrey Police being asked to deliver you to the Metropolitan Police. They don't necessarily know why you're there, but if you want to do that once you're in the interview room, it should be. Then that's not a problem.
Yeah, I'll wait till
Yeah.
I'm in the interview room.
Okay.
I just wanna...
So basically, yes. So I will do that. We will deal with that. So basically, once each of you are placed in an interview room, you just seem to be being questioned by a desk sergeant. It doesn't. He hasn't cautioned you or told you you're right. It appears to be just It's noted that you've come in of your own free will, and he just asks each of you the same question. We'll go down how you want to respond and anything you want to do on top. But basically, it's down to they're questioning you about your whereabouts or your alibi for where you were last night. Aldous. In mind, you were monster hunting on Epsom Downs, which you may or may not want to admit to. Aldous.
I would discreetly show this desk sergeant one of my arms and say I was alone and indisposed.
Okay, let's see how persuasive you are. Fine. He seemed happy with that. It did show. He seemed happy with that. France.
I was in our newfound home in Surrey. I was talking to my colleague, Tatsuya. We've been having a series of conversations over the previous month. And I feel like we had a breakthrough.
Okay. You can make a persuasion check. You don't get the lodge bonus 3 times, but you still rolled a 5, so you're okay. That's fine.
There you go.
Oh,
This is the police station.
Carl brought his study books, and when he's waiting to be interrogated and while they leave him alone in the interrogation room, he's studying at least as much as he can. Carl is quite young, so he's very disturbed by the situation and a bit anxious. But when they come in and ask him where he was studying.
Okie dokie. Oh, there's also some quaver in your voice.
No problem. Still studying. There we go.
We need to roll persuasion no matter what, or only if we're lying.
Only if you're lying, really. Well, it's up to you. I'm asking how persuasive you are. You can do something else if you want. That brings us through Sir Bartholomew. Who was going to do the mind reading? I can't remember.
That was me.
Oh, yeah. Was that your 5 roll, was it? Sorry.
No,
that was me. I was rolling to see what I was doing last night for real.
Oh, right. Okay.
I was rolling on the list of downtime stuff.
We were already told that we were monster hunting.
We were? Who told us that?
I did.
Ross did.
Oh.
And so you can admit to it if you want, but at this point you were monster hunting alone.
No, I was training.
Exactly.
Okay, you were training.
I was training an assistant.
That's absolutely fine. Whoever wants to do the mind reading, please do the mind reading. You meant to do it on your turn and remind me. I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's see. Mind reading. Do I need to target anybody?
No. It's a roll, isn't it? Mr. Death Sergeant will make a spirit check to notice. He's oblivious. Okay. Obviously I should. Yeah.
The subject.
Basically, the sergeant's been told to ask why all of you are here, where all of you were last night, because apparently a body was discovered. This is what he's thinking about while he's questioning you. Basically, a body was discovered, and on the body was a note with all your characters' names on it.
Oh. Okay, now I care about more than that.
They must have been. Oh wait, we don't know that.
You don't know that yet. Yeah. So Bartholomew, up next. Also, if any of you do want to spend favours to call in with any contacts with the police rather than make persuasion rolls, you most certainly can do so. You have obviously helped the royal family. You've got contacts in the Metropolitan Police. So if you could either just persuade the desk sergeant you're innocent, but if you want to just call in a favour, you can you can also do that. Don't forget, that's the whole point of having the favours and doing stuff. You could just call in favors. One of you know high up people in the meta. If you say that's what you do when you spend a favor, so that's how it works.
Where are the
Mr. Bartholomew is fine. They will be on. They should be listed.
Oh, I see, at the top right. At the top right of the character sheet.
Yeah, and you just need to look at the favors menu, which is again in status. Yes, and yeah. So favor costs. So yeah. So basically, if I do that and then that, there you go. That should give you the status page. But that's all okay because everyone so far has been very convincing. That gets us to Tatsuya.
Yes, I was spending time with a friend. We were discussing many important facts.
Okay. How persuasive are you?
I believe him.
Oh, probably not very.
Oh, that's okay. This man's not jingoistic, so the sergeant isn't jingoistic, so you're okay there. He doesn't instantly assume you're the guilty one.
My tongue tied did not kick in.
Well, that's fine. I will conveniently fail to notice that then.
Okay.
That just leads Tom.
I was entertaining a woman.
Go for it. Oh dear. Okay.
Apparently not.
I was going to say that, but the dice are reading my mind.
The dice do not lie.
Okay.
The death
Obviously,
of the lie.
obviously, not making any comments on anyone's preferences, but just reverting to the legal laws of the land at the time. We'll just assume the sergeant assumes you were spending the night with someone, but it wasn't a woman. With a critical fail like that. With everyone
That was nice when Red.
Talk about GM's pet.
As well, yeah.
As I say, that's not a comment on anyone's personal life. That is just we're talking about legal interrogations at the time. However, okay, Tom, I'm ready to say obviously Tom's going to obviously be after the rest of you are sort of out of your questioning for a while. Unfortunately, it's a very long time before Tom's finally released from the from being questioned. By which point he's feeling rather worn down. That's taken a point of fatigue, but eventually you are all really basically let out of the cells. Then you are they.
Do they release us? Are we
So
still
I'm
in
just looking at
custody?
the chat. I've lost it. Anyway. No, at this point you're in. At this point, another police detective walks over, finishes talking to the sergeant who's basically been questioning all of you. Nods a few times, looks at you a couple of times, walks over. He introduces himself as Inspector Jones, and he basically asks to come with him. And basically, there's a couple of hansom cabs. Not hansom. I can't remember what the police ones were called. Black Mariahs, weren't they? There's a couple of you're escorted in. You basically escorted in one of the police prisoner wagons, as it were, to the scene. It's not locked. It's not locked. That there's no lock on it. It's just an easy way to carry all of you. You are taken. That's where it is. Yeah, you're taken to basically not far from the station. You're in Whitechapel. You're taken to a narrow alley running behind a seedy public house. As you get out of the wagon, you can see there is still some police in the area. There's a few people standing around trying to get a look. At least one of them appears to be standing there with a notebook, and you suspect it's a member of the press doing a sketch. You can also Aldous, you can smell that there's a large pool of blood has stained the cobblestones with your heightened senses. As you get, the rest of you can also see that as you get closer. Some articles of clothing and personal effects lie strewed about. The body, it would appear, has been moved. Would anyone like to make any notice checks?
It's like a rear gate to examine the body. I'll ask the cops
Like to
first.
make it.
The body's not here. The body's not here. You'll probably have to. Yeah. France can't see anything. France probably just bumps into Franz obviously. Okay. Basically, Franz sort of starting to study things, gets into a deep trance, and I'm afraid we're going to have to go with the old classic we've done before. As he's walking down the alleyway, there's a very loud squelch, and then he notices the odor rising up from the bottom of his boot.
Dude.
Okay. However, as you glance around, you notice the following, based on the number of notice results. A small leather pouch. Obviously, you can see someone going through it. It contains a few farthings, a silver American dollar, and a folded piece of paper on which is scrawled "Meet us tonight behind the Rose and Crown," which is obviously where you are right now, and your names are listed on the page. On the wall nearby, daubed in blood, you suspect possibly even the victim's blood. I'm just typing it in. That's daubed on the wall in blood. remember Ponari. You also notice a tooth lies discarded nearby. A couple of the police officers think it's a dog's tooth. If anyone would like to make a Ripper Tech roll or a Smarts roll at -2 while looking at the tooth, feel free to do so.
If Tatsuya wants to make a general knowledge check to see if he recognizes the reference of Bonari.
Certainly, you can do that. This the tooth. Both Carl and Sir Bartholomew, you determine that is most certainly not a dog's tooth, but in fact a vampire fang.
Oh boy.
Is there a body to inspect?
The body's been removed.
Removed. Okay.
Yes, from the scene. There's no scene here. There's nobody here. Ponari, Tatsuya, that is where a group of rippers basically it was the castle where a group of rippers defeated and destroyed Count Dracula.
So what I am seeing here is an attempt to call us out.
A ticket. The other thing you notice the inspector picking up and putting in his pocket, putting in his pocket, is. But you do glance at it, you notice it. It's a ticket to the visitors' gallery in the House of Commons.
What's the date and time? Was it from yesterday or?
I'm going to say yes because it doesn't tell me.
Okay, good enough.
Obviously, the note is the reason why you were summoned because obviously the implication is you sent this individual the note to meet him last night here and then basically murdered him was the implication of why you were interrogated. But obviously, your alibis seem to have convinced the police that was not the case.
Obviously, the note say about meeting somewhere at the Rose and something.
Vampires.
The note said, basically, meet behind the Rose and Crown. You're behind the Rose and Crown right now. So basically, the victim was given a note with your names on it. As I say, Castle Pernari is the castle where Dracula was defeated.
So he was either trying to meet us or these vampires are trying to eat us.
Oh.
Or somebody was setting him up and setting us up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He said they set us up by...
Are the police just talking to us and trying to inform us of stuff? Can we ask them questions?
You're not. I mean, you can ask. I mean, whether the inspector's just trying to catch you out. Now he's brought you to the scene of the crime. You don't know what's going on, but that's where we are.
I mean, the natural question that Carl has is who died here. So, it's like, and if you were going to bring us to ask us questions, why don't you show us who was killed?
I go over to the captain. May I ask who is killed? I believe it is some old associates of mine causing trouble for me.
Goes, well, we haven't identified the body yet. May
I see it to see if it is someone I know?
Okay, well, Carl's already asked the same thing, asking the same thing as you walk up. So,
well, I'm stating I believe that it is somebody. Somebody is attempting to frame specifically me and my associates by the fact that they're the fact that I know them.
I'm going to use boost trade on him to up his persuasion.
That's right. And then we'll have a persuasion. Well, you might want to boost Carl's because Carl was also asking who's got the better persuasion of the two of you. Carl's got a D6. Bartholomew's got a D4. I'd boost Carl. Right. Let me get this right. Let me put the combat tracker on front. You do have a higher status, which would give you a bonus, won't it?
I'm willing to bet I have a I have a status 3. I'm pretty much everybody else should probably have like a status 2, maybe.
Status 2 is the norm, isn't it? Unless you take the lower one. So, the social order, the police officer would be lower down. So characters with a no status, character may reach status effects. Here we go. Upper class, you get a +1 bonus to each status level higher than his target. So, so it comes down to his Bartholomew. If you boost him and don't get the raise, will have a D6 +1, whereas Cole will have a D8 with no modifier if you boost his. But obviously, Cole is obviously asking the same thing. So you can also say boost our Bartholomew, and Cole can do a support roll.
Well,
That
D6
works.
+1 is basically the same as a D8.
Exactly.
Do you want me to roll? Do you want me to roll persuasion for support right now?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll bend you that just for fun. There we go.
Let me spend
Okay.
my PowerPoint.
Yep. Make your boost trait roll.
What trait is 3?
Yep.
Yeah, I used mind reading earlier, so I'm down to 7.
Oh no, that was. Oh yes, that was today. Yes, yeah, it hadn't been an hour yet.
So I'll drop a Benny in there, actually. I'll just get back up to 12.
Okay.
All right, so you can boost your trait.
Yeah, you boost your trait 1 die. Just do it manually. It's easier than. We won't worry about the combat tracker out of combat.
Sorry, I forgot who was doing it. Me or
So you're doing the persuasion roll, so you've got the boost trait of 1 die. You've also got a +1 status modifier because you're upper class and you're talking to. Sorry, you're middle class and you're talking. Oh no, you know what I mean. You've got a bonus.
I'm
trying to say.
I'm upper class. Yeah.
You're upper class, so that's a +1, another +1, 13. So that's a success with a raise. Obviously as soon as you start talking, obviously with Cole already asking the assistants, once you start talking and you sort of basically the status kicks in and the inspector, whether he likes it or not, does condone to allow you to be taken to the mortuary to see the body.
Somewhere around Surrey, the status kicked in.
Exactly. So it's basically you're taken to the mortuary where the unfortunate victim has been laid out on the table. He's wearing tattered clothing common to the East End's destitute residents. So
Carl wants to discreetly check his neck or his around his torso.
Not discreetly. I'm examining his body thoroughly.
Okie dokie. The injuries are okay. The injuries are gruesome, as would be expected from so violent a crime. It appears he was killed in a frenzy, and viewing the mutilation requires a fear test at -2 to avoid nausea.
For both of us?
Well, no, only basically anyone who's examining the body. Yes.
Okay, so fear test. How do you do a
Because of the
fear?
gruesomeness of it?
Apparently. I mean, the guy's been ripped completely. It's a spirit check at -2.
Spirit check. Okay, so type in -2 and then spirit check.
Yeah. Just roll -2. Yes, and then spirit check. Yeah. Also, the two of you recognise who the victim is. And I can't spell. It should have been A-N, not O-N, obviously.
I'm gonna. Do I need to? I'm gonna.
Why does it say fear as well? Let's try this again. But anyway, yeah, you realise with shock as you're examining the body that although he's dressed as an East End destitute, the victim is none other than a Ripper colleague, Jonathan Harker.
Oh, Jonathan Harker.
Have you identified this? Is he a close friend?
The police think. although the victim, obviously the police are under the assumption at the moment that this was a Jack the Ripper attack. Although why he's obviously they're going on the assumption that obviously Jack always chooses prostitutes as his victims, so they're a bit confused about that. So obviously there is some assumptions being made to the profession of the destitute victim here.
Okay.
I will, when I identify him, I'm going to stop, go kind of pale, and just kind of like freeze and stop, and I'll very obviously be presenting like a furious attitude. I mean, I'm going to be breathing hard through my nose. I'm going to be highly tense. Anybody watching is going to be obvious that I'm attempting to control my temper. And then I will, excuse me, and I will walk out. Is there somewhere I can vent my temper as I step out in the hallway?
The men's room. So Harker is a colleague as a Ripper, but we can't really say that. What do we know him as for his profession or his normal?
He was a lawyer, wasn't he? Officially,
he was a lawyer, a mentor of ours.
Oh, okay.
I will,
and don't forget don't forget also the husband of the head of the current head of the Rippers.
Yeah, I will head to the men's room, and then there will be the sound of smashing.
Indeed.
I am going to vent my temper at this and make it very. Everyone's going to realize that it's like I'm really mad.
Well, Carl's going to take a different approach. He's going to obviously he's somewhat shaken, even though he eventually made a spirit roll. And he's going to share with them that this is no hobo, or this isn't a destitute person. This is somebody this isn't a lawyer who's been dressed up to look like he's nobody special, but this is a very important person. His name is Jonathan Harker. So I'd let the police know that, in case they are treating it.
This completely confuses the police even more. Why Jack the Ripper has why Jack the Ripper has targeted a prominent lawyer has them very confused.
Were there any signs of vampire punctures on the neck by any chance, or was it
no? It's all the hallmarks of a frenzied attack by of who they're assuming was Jack the Ripper, but obviously they were already confused because of the character. But
is there any indication that Harker was able to defend himself at all? Marks on the arm.
It was a brutal and frenzied attack. It's very it's a mess. It's very unpleasant. So yeah.
Okay. I asked the police. This looks like a vicious fight. What happened to the other individual?
He goes, but they don't forget they think Jack the Ripper did it, because Ripper, he wrote the letter and says there'll be more. They'll hear from him soon. So the assumption was this is a Jack the Ripper attack.
Letter? What letter?
You did have a letter read to you. Yeah, that one. That letter.
I thought that was in the newspaper.
It was in the newspaper.
The Ripper, he wrote me a letter.
That was the letter. The letter was delivered to George Lusk, formerly chairman of the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee during the original Ripper murders back in 1888. The original From Hell letter had also been delivered to Lusk. So obviously now with the identity of the victim established, obviously the next step the police are going to take is they're going to head over to Van Helsing's lodge and inform Mina Harker that her husband's been murdered.
Well, they need somebody to identify. They probably need somebody else to identify the body, right? or
Well,
did we do enough? Do they trust us?
You have said who the body is. Obviously, someone's going to have to go and fetch Mina Harker and get her to formally identify the body. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll ask them to let us go and inform her and let her know that she needs to come and do so.
Were there any weapons involved in this fight, or like how did this person get so mutilated?
Jack the Ripper's attacks are always done with a very sharp weapon that they think is a scalpel, don't they? It was surgical attacks, so organs were removed and all sorts in Ripper attacks.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, but what about this attack?
This attack. But no weapon's been found. Just the body. These injuries are gruesome.
They were gruesome, but was this surgical, organs removed, stuff like that? Does it actually?
The body has been. The body's been mutilated. I'm going to say yes. Some of the organs are missing, which is why although this is not a standard target for the Ripper, it has the hallmarks of a Ripper attack.
Do we know if
frenzied mutilation?
Do we know if Jonathan had Ripper tech?
That's a very good question. I don't think he did. Don't think he did.
So we'll go. Yeah,
We'll refer to the original Ripper's book to see if he did.
I'll ask the police if we can please go and let Mina know that she needs to come here and such.
Carl, before Carl leaves the body, he's gonna try and make some mental notes of how the attack took place. Like, what was he going for the throat? Was he going for the chest? Was it pure mutilation? Did he cut off? Did he cut down the leg?
Too mutilated to tell.
Jonathan Harker had fiend's blood and retinal grafts, according to the original Ripper's book.
So could you say that their relationship was choppy?
No,
RNG,
just Jonathan's broken up about it.
Too soon. Too soon.
RNG, he hates me, says, Flo the Ven is a 4-eye sing wham rat. So there we go. Okay. Right.
What?
You leave the Whitechapel Constabulary with a view to head back to Van Helsing's mansion and pass the information on to Mina Harker. And retinal, whatever it was, basically improved eyesight. Yeah, gives you night vision. Retinal graft. Retinal graft, see in the dark, supernatural weakness.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I think several of us got that one.
I think you have got retinal grafts, yes. It should be pointed out his eyes were not taken. As you're heading out the police station and trying to hail down a couple of Hansons to get you across London, I need you to make some notice checks, please.
I am busy looking at the ground in case lest I step in poo.
I want conviction D6. How do I get a conviction D6?
You
What's
spend a conviction point.
Oh, you spend conviction.
It keeps rolling high, so
I wouldn't worry too much about it. With you already got a 13 and you got a 22 on the notice there.
But he's doing it every single time. No. I only do it once in a blue.
That's because it's off the combat tracker and he needs to reset it and clear the effects.
Yeah.
Yes. There we go. Point taken.
Or clear it manually.
Okay. Aldous, Franz, and Tom and Tatsuya, you don't notice anything. However, Carl.
I did roll a 4 because I don't have fatigue.
Yeah, I know. I know you did, but no, it was an opposed notice check, so I beat you. However, Carl and Sir Bartholomew, even ignoring the notice conviction because you got the 22 on the wild die, so you know what I mean. You realise that as you're heading down, as soon as you leave the station and start walking away, Out of the shadows, you pick up a tail, and he's following you and moving quietly and carefully.
Can I tell who it is?
It appears to be it appears to be a fellow. He's basically walking quietly, not quietly down the street, moving sort of from from shadow to shadow. Definitely keeping an eye on you. He's just wearing he's got a cloak on to protect him from the night air, but and he's probably got a hat upon his head. Yes, probably a top hat, I suspect.
Do I know who he is, or is it just know that we're being followed?
You just know you're being followed. He's staying to the shadows and too far back to. He's staying too far back to do anything. However, oh yeah, what did you get for the reel? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I'll look it up. As quickly as the two of you recognize, the two of you realize you're being followed, whoever's following you obviously realizes you've spotted him. He suddenly basically walks boldly out of the shadows and starts walking plainly towards you. His arms raised upwards to show he's not holding anything as he walks towards you.
Carl just shows his hands are open at his sides for the similar gesture and waits for him to approach.
I look unamused.
And also Carl says, we're being approached, so that everybody notices that something's up.
What?
How can we help you, sir? And what is your business?
Well, do we recognize him once he comes out first?
You do not recognize him, no.
Okay.
Could you pull back your hood, sir, so we can see who you are?
He's not wearing a hood, he's wearing a top hat.
Okay, well, as long as we can see his face, that's fine. Otherwise, please remove the hat.
Okay. Where are we? He goes, it is reassuring that individuals such as yourselves are good at spotting when they are being followed. Allow me to introduce myself. Holmes, Sherlock Holmes.
Have we heard of him?
All right.
You have heard of Sherlock Holmes, yes?
Well, no.
Okay.
It's because this was brought up earlier. Is Sherlock Holmes written by Conan Doyle? Is that fiction? Is that a biography?
No, in the Rippers universe, Sherlock Holmes actually exists.
Okay.
It's a fair question.
I just wanted to ask him because that came up with around the world in 80s days and the time machine and stuff like that. So
exactly, yes. Yeah, but Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective, is an NPC in the Rippers universe.
Is he a Ripper himself?
He is not a Ripper. He's just a consult. He's the consulting detective. Yes, he has. But you do know he has worked with the Rippers in the past. But also, it's also known that. Let's have a common knowledge roll. Bob normally failed that one, but you know of him.
Well, no, I wasn't. It wasn't. I was rolling to see if I would know about the consulting villain.
Oh, I see what you mean. No, he goes. I'm here to give you a warning. I believe that last night Jonathan Harker was expecting to meet you. This was all a foil, and by an evil genius who I have spent many a year jousting with. Unfortunately, it would appear that Jonathan Harker somehow got called into this. I strongly advise you do not tangle with my arch nemesis Moriarty. He is too dangerous.
Is
But-
this Moriarty? Is he
Before
a
you-
vampire?
Before he gives his monologue,
Feed on the living?
Carl wants to shake his hand eagerly because
Oh.
he starts to recognize who Sherlock is.
Carl, most certainly, Carl, he most certainly happy to shake your hand.
Carl,
He goes,
Carl,
I remember many a time, you individuals that call yourselves the Rippers, where we've crossed paths. You've always had this, a joke at my expense, trying to convince me that the supernatural is real. I am sorry, it is not logical. I know they even try. I know Jonathan himself once tried to use the argument of the impossible once it's been discounted has to be real, but there is no evidence whatsoever that the supernatural does exist. It is all just smoke and mirrors. And in this case, I'm afraid to say you should really not get involved with Moriarty. He is very dangerous. And then with that, he after he finished shaking Carl's hand, he nods and starts to walk away, and then stops and pauses.
Skepticism in the face of.
He stopped. Yeah. He then, as he's walking away, he suddenly stops and turns around and goes, "Oh, and in case you aren't aware, you're being followed. Mediterranean fellow, sharp features, left leg slightly longer than the right, Catholic." And with that, he walks off into the dark.
You say Catholic as well, just to show.
He
off.
did. He did.
Catholic,
Yes.
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 It's got a orange knob.
If someone checks their notes, if someone checks their notes, they might recognise that description.
Well, before he leaves, I say, "I'm your biggest fan." That's what Carl says.
Indeed. Just so I remember who it was. Was it Other Guests? Yes, Other Guests is the name of the note you want to have a look at.
Yeah, Gambusini, the art collector, is
Where do we meet them?
Okay.
following us around.
He was during where we got our financial backer.
Indeed.
Yeah, he was there for the Banks murder, or
That's
the
right,
Banks
yeah.
case, I should
Bank
say.
Well, all we need is one more follower, and we have a Vedant parade.
Enrico, show yourself.
He wasn't. We didn't determine that he was tied to the Rippers or anything, right?
No, you didn't find anything timed to anything going on at the house. No.
But he was we determined he was like an art thief,
He was the Italian art collector, but he had a hawk nose, and when walking, he did. I had to look this bit up, so I had modified your notes slightly because I didn't know I didn't pick up that myself at the time. But when walking, he does so with his head or neck tilted to one side, which apparently is a common indication of one leg's longer than the other. Apparently, which is why I've added it in there. But that's the note she took at the time. It's a bit of retconning on the GM's part. But the description of the people, of all the people you've met in the past, you get the impression that he is the one that fits that description. Whether it really is him or not is another matter. But you do pick it up as a rather good coincidence that someone. He was the one who was basically framed, wasn't he, for the murders as well? I believe.
Yeah, we weren't sure if he was actually an art thief or not.
Indeed.
So, followed by a Mediterranean with a limp.
So
and
we
a
also
hawk nose.
saved. We also saved his bacon then.
He's a Mediterranean
Essentially.
fellow, sharp features, left leg slightly longer than the right. He's also Catholic, apparently.
We saved his bacon then. He should owe us a
He
favor.
might be Scottish, because if he's one leg's longer than the other, he's haggis, right?
What, because he walks on the high road and the low road at the same time?
Yep. Can only go one way around the mountain. That's how you catch haggis.
Okay. Well, let's just keep. let's just keep going and see how much he follows. See how much he follows us since we now know to keep an eye out for him.
Well, if we round
Okay,
when we
you're
round
able
a
to hail
corner,
a cab. Sorry. After
when
you.
we round a corner, Carl takes a seat on a bench and waits for Enrico to round the corner as well.
He might not necessarily be following you right now, especially after you shouted out his name.
Well, that's fine.
Let's bug it off.
I'll give him 5 minutes and then I'll catch up to the group again.
Okay. Right. Okay, that sounds fine. So yeah, Cole's, you're sitting down there. A couple of minutes later, an individual walks around the corner.
And would it be Enrico?
The fellow definitely has sharp features. Does appear to be Mediterranean. His head's slightly tilted to the right, and you recognise him as Enrico.
Enrico, how are you doing, old friend? I see that you're in good health. You do remember me. You seem to be following our group.
He stops and he stops and says a number of things in Italian that sound like curse words, and then looks up and goes, yes, oh, wasn't it? It is strange how these things happen.
How we cross paths?
Indeed, it is unusual how paths can be crossed. What do I meet you in London?
I'm sorry. What was this question? For what to what? Everybody's reading.
What on earth's this? Oh, right, someone else. Oh, the Basilisk notes. Yes.
Organizing my note.
Okay, the Basilisk notes. That's okay. Okay.
So what was his question? For what do we meet in London? What?
Oh, he's obviously trying to. He's trying to bluster the fact that you.
Enrico, we don't
cross each other.
We don't mind that you're following us, but if you want to talk to us, just come up to us straight. Is it something to do with art, or is something wrong? Can we help you? Or
can you tell me if you are Catholic or not?
He's Italian, so you think it's probably a fair bet he is.
Right. Yeah.
Is Enrico answering my question of what he needs or why he's following us? Obviously, I'm not buying the bluster.
Well, no. Obviously, the point being, of course, is he's absolutely not following you. He just happens to be in London, and you happen to be in London at the same time. Is obviously what he's going with. Don't worry about that.
Well,
fine. Whatever. Whatever. Now that we've met, have you got anything?
Enrico,
what news do you have?
Yeah, are you on a mission in London, or are you just on vacation? You seem to be.
I am working. Yes.
On any particular art piece, may I ask? Is there anything interesting going on in London?
You mean my business is my own? Therefore, I bid you good day. And with that, he turns around and he basically takes a step and starts walking down an alleyway.
One more question, Enrico. Are you working on your own, or are you working for someone?
He starts walking faster.
I am going to use telekinesis to bring him back to us.
Right, let's pick up a completely random alley map that none of you have ever seen before.
Wow, that's kind of a cool looking map.
I don't want you to walk away from this conversation.
You should have left the blood spats on it just for a laugh.
Indeed. Okay.
For me, I believe someone's died here.
I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to do that.
Tommy boy, nice. Now, we also get how many extra cards? We make a spirit roll.
Yes, tactician. You make a spirit check.
I'm going on hold until I have to shoot him. Yeah.
Is it just a straight up spirit roll, right?
Yep.
Are we all? What are we making spirit rolls for?
For rip attack.
Actually, was it spirit or was it
For the-
smarts? I can't remember. I'm
think
going
it's
to have to check. I think I said spirit, didn't I? I put it on your. I think I put it on what you got, didn't I? Under your rip attack.
Use spirit instead of a knowledge roll.
That was it. Okay, so 13 would be a 4, 8, 12. I'm going to give you 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. You've got 4 cards.
What about Barty? He gets 1,
No.
right?
Yeah, but that's it. Barty got 3. Sorry, France got 3. You got Barty got 1. So that's your 4 cards. I'm afraid they weren't that good this week, but you can hold them in reserve for when you need them. Okay, Tom's gone on hold. Franz, you're up.
We give them to the enemies.
No.
That'd be it'd be very nice, but that'd probably be like a power thing to do.
Right. Yeah, I'll give them to.
You could always give the 10 of diamonds to Enrico.
Yeah, I could. I could give it to Aldous too, but I'm going to use telekinesis on him. So I'm going to pick up telekinesis and drop it on him. Let's see how that works.
Where are there? Oh, there's.
It didn't test him. Every time I have to look up how this damn power works.
Your role is to activate it itself, and then he gets I think a spirit to resist.
Okay.
One time,
Yes.
and then if he fails,
So you got a raise, so it's telekinetic strength 12.
Okay. Unwilling beings targeted by telekinesis resist the caster's arcane skill that oppose spirit roll when first targeted at the start of each of their turns thereafter.
He fails to resist it.
All right. So then I'm going to drag him 10 feet.
Yoink.
Target or tool may be moved up to the caster's smarts as a limited free action, which is D10.
So it's going to be up to 10 inches then.
So 5, 10, 15, 20.
No. 10 inches.
Oh, okay.
So you can pull him up to 10 inches towards you. He's only 7 inches away from you.
Hold down Alt to shift.
So where do you want to position? Where do you want to pull him to? Is that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm trying to ping. How do I? What is it?
Space bar and double click the mouse. You're going to move him to there.
No, to there.
There.
That's me. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. You pull him to there.
I hope he doesn't have a knife. Here, stick him first.
He's on hold, and he can go anytime. Do an
Okay.
interrupt.
Franz, don't forget to end your turn unless you're doing anything else.
No.
Sir Bartholomew, you are up next, sir.
I'll just go on hold.
You'll go on hold. Okay. Enrico pulls a rapier and attacks Carl.
All right, I'm going to shoot him.
Oh boy. Well, Carl's
So
gonna.
don't you have to make a roll?
Well, Tom's got a joker, so he can interrupt automatically and doesn't get to roll.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Tom is up. So Tom shoots him. Doesn't vulnerable wouldn't matter because you interrupted him after you did the wild attack. Okay, so he's shaken.
Good lord. That's some kind of damage. Enrico's a vampire. Set to
I'll spend.
flame.
Okay, so he takes 2 wounds from the gunshot. Which then.
Enrico.
Okay, so then we need to retcon a few things. Carl. Okay, I'm going to have to spend a penny to unshake Enrico. But apply 2 wound modifier to his attack on Carl, which still unfortunately hits. So therefore, I do get to roll the rapier damage, which results in Carl being shaken. And then Enrico is going to move. Which of course he's taken injuries, so he can't move his full pace, so he's going to move to there. Oh, that's your up, sir.
Isn't he telekinetically held?
No.
Points. It's an interesting one. I think I'm going to say he could. It's an interesting one.
It's not grappling. It's not grappling.
No,
I just moved
he
him.
could put him
That's all I
back.
could do.
He could. My interpretation was he could yank him back, but the guy could still attempt to run in between. If that makes is my interpretation of it.
Okay.
If that's how I'm going to treat it, because it isn't, as you say, it's not like a grapple.
Does Carl get any swipe at him?
No, you were
the
shaken
attack?
by which is why you ran. A bit metagaming there. Aldous.
I was gonna say I'll request to come off hold, and this would be easier, Aldous, if you'll let me go first.
Go ahead.
I think they've remembered
Right.
they walked away out of the police station. So I'm
Didn't
going
want my
it's
turn
time for the
anyway.
cops to turn up.
Well, I'll make it easier for you anyway.
No, I'm kidding. I'm being a jackass. Go for
Anybody
it. 19
like
go.
to make would anyone like to make a free notice check as well while this is all going on?
Sure. I'd like to make any notice check. Oh, there we go. My wish is granted. I made a
Okay.
notice check.
So obviously it's almost okay. So basically, obviously the fight's only just started. It's almost instantaneous. Then basically Tom draws his guns, fires 2 shots, and from the vicinity of the police station you just left, you hear the police whistles blowing.
My gun's got silencers on it.
No, they haven't. You just left a police station. You're in the middle of London and you discharged 2 firearms.
No, I discharge the firearms. I can just quickly move and get away from them so they don't even notice me.
The point I'm trying to make is the police are on their way, is the point I'm trying to make.
They're so damn squirrely.
Stuff's
about
not working
guns.
for some reason, but he's entangled.
I'll tell you why it's not working, because you've interrupted. There you go, try now. Sorry.
Do you think the Brits would know by now there's no consequences than flooding your country with guns?
Okay,
No, it's all right.
I chuck a sticky grenade at him and entangle him.
Yeah, he's entangled, which then we take us back towards. You couldn't apply it because you have to be the active. That's the only problem with going on hold and coming off on hold. If anyone ever works out how to code that, so they jump to the late becoming the active person on the combat tracker, every sway GM out there will be so happy, because then obviously you can do your effects. Anyway, I'm going to jump back to Aldous.
Problem is remembering who was on hold and going back to it, I guess, would be
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Ooh,
kill him.
wounds. Good. Oh dear. Okay. He soaks one of the wounds, so he's still up, but that's all his benny's gone. Okay. Oh, I forgot. He got shot. I forgot to see what the damage effect of the shot, the injury was.
He didn't apply it to him.
No, when you shot him, I forgot to notice what it was. And then obviously he got bashed again, which this time was.
It was a battered vigor -1D.
Yeah, so it's now his vigor's -2D and his toughness is -2. He's in a bad way. He's been battered twice now. It says, unless Aldous is doing anything else, you can end your turn, Aldous. Paul recovers from being shaken.
Oh. Well, I'm going to head over to Enrico and ask him to stop resisting and please explain himself. Why was he following us? Is he working for somebody else or is he on his own? How is it we're crossing paths in such a large city again?
Okie dokie.
Do I need to roll?
No, it's fine.
Do I need to? No? Okay.
He just spits and snarls at you, Carl.
Can I do a dental check on him? I'd like to examine his mouth and see if he's missing any teeth.
Make a notice check.
Okay.
Taxi is running away, are you?
No, Tatsuya just turns around and walks out of the alley. He's
what I
got
mean,
nothing to do with this.
That's absolutely fine. Tatsuya walks out of the alley, no problem at all. Okay. He doesn't appear to have any missing teeth, but the teeth you see appear to be perfectly normal.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Enrico, the constables are coming, so hopefully you can explain yourself.
He says, I'm not the one who'll be in trouble, he says, pointing at the gunshot wound and the claw marks on him. Aldous, you're up, sir.
Is this the next round?
It is the next round, which is why you all got more bennies. He's out.
So what are we-
So he's incapacitated by that. That loud scream of pain as he goes down will definitely increase the police arrival.
Tatsuya starts walking a little faster.
Carl is heading for the alleyway.
Okay. He's dead. Enrico is killed by that.
Anyone going to search his body?
I'm not. I'm running away. I look like a wolf.
And once Carl gets around the corner, he accelerates.
Okay, tokens are unlocked. Okay, so Tom, you're going to search the body. Okie dokie. That's the bank's affair. Secret and lies.
I can unshape, change, and come back in just a minute, but I need to get out of there.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fine. No, it's fine. The idea is quite sensible if you just want to run. I would, other than Tom, and everyone else can move it fast if they want to.
Once I've had a quick scrounge of his body and see if there's anything on him, I'm going to head off, catch the rest of them, and then just run off.
No, that's fine. That's fine. The point I'm trying to say is everyone else can clear the alleyway this round. You, however. So I'm going. Yeah, basically, you're still searching the body at the. So I'm going to. Everyone else has cleared the alley. That's not a problem.
Well, I was going to try and keep him alive.
No, he failed his vigor check. He didn't make it.
Which I figured, but I was still going to be like attempting to
Keep him alive. You want to stay there? Okay.
Healing attempt takes 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm figuring it's going to take me more than a minute to realize he's dead. No chance.
Okay, that's fine. So you're checking him. That's absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Are these water barrels here, Kevin?
I'm trying to heal him. I was like binding wounds and trying to do stuff like that. I'm assuming he's dead, and it's going to fail.
Yeah,
assuming
while I'm walking
going
over to his body, I'm going to drop the guns in that there, and then go in it. I'll spend a penny to do that.
Can you take Carl off the combat tracker, please?
I don't think guns are illegal.
No,
guns aren't.
I haven't got any guns on me. I'll just drop them in the water barrel. I can get them later.
Okay, right. So you're basically, the point I'm trying to make is, okay, you can drop the guns. You can drop the guns in the barrel, and off you go. So that's absolutely fine. Okay, so Bartholomew, you're attempting to heal the body, and that, as I say, they will show up at the end of the turn, which is why everyone else gets away. It doesn't matter if they're on the combat tracker or not. Don't worry about that. I've just managed to close my adventure by mistake, which I didn't mean to do. So I just need to remind myself what he's up to, what you find. Okay, so basically Rico is carrying carrying a number of items of, obviously other than his wallet. You notice he's got there's other items on his possession, a Bible and what appears to be a leather. I can't think of a proper phrase other than a Filofax. Do you know what I mean? A leather.
Notebook.
Yeah.
Notebook.
I can't think what they're called now. Yeah, the ones you put the notes in and fold them shut and secure them. I can't think what it's called. The mind's gone. But anyway, modern term would be a file. A modern name would be a Filofax.
Bill fold, but would not bills it.
No, it's more like a leather pouch. But anyway, so you could, assuming, so at that point, 4 police constables bound into the alleyway. So you can either stay put and obviously talk your way out of it, or we can start a chase. It's up to you guys.
We're going to try and save him, aren't we?
I'm going to say something, so let me go first.
I will.
All right. I look up at the cops and it's like, quick, his compatriots are fleeing and my friends are chasing him. Please go help them.
I like it.
I'm going to banny that because I really would like this to succeed. Got lots of pennies, so...
There we go.
There we go.
The one you wanted. I will give you the... I was going to basically make them more inclined to believe you as well, because, of course, they would recognise you having been brought to and from the station with the Spectre and everything. So, your persuasion check works, and they 3 of them run off. 3 of them run off in pursuit, whereas the remaining constable comes up and checks the body.
I forgot my status would have boosted this too. One of it.
It would have done, yeah. But to be honest, you needed a very good roll. So even, you know what I mean? The freeze would have been a success, but you really needed the raise to talk your way out of it so convincingly. So I wouldn't say you wasted the bennies. I wouldn't worry on that score. He goes on. Obviously, he goes on. It feels he's dead. Looks like. Looks like a gunshot wound, but also somewhat appears. My word, he appears to have been slashed. Okay, we go. Well, you two will have to give statements, but please step away from the. Please step away from the body. The rest of you obviously escaped without problem.
I was trying to save his life so that we may question for why he was following us. When we confronted him, he got quite violent and his associates ran off as we were able to keep him from running.
No problem at all. It's a long night for the two of you. Fortunately, because you've already been in the station once, and obviously the fact that you 2 attacks in a row after you've managed to convince the inspector in behind the investigation someone's trying to implicate you probably goes in your favour. So, but it's going to be it's going to be the following morning before the two of you are finally allowed to catch the first train back to the lodge, where you'll probably find the others if they hadn't been. I'm sure they were probably around nearby. But anyway, but it's the following day before you're given a chance to examine the pouch, the leather folder. Folder is all I was trying to think of. I can't think of the proper phrase, but yeah. Basically, it would appear that Enrico Gambicini was a Roman Catholic priest from the Vatican.
Whoops.
Oh, okay, interesting.
His mission, basically, the notes. It seems he's basically he's been. It doesn't say that he's a priest who takes missions suspicious of everyone. What the guests should pay. Well, it's a bit where it tells you where he's really up to. So I know he does tell me that somewhere. I'm sure it told me, but that's okay. A second tragedy from hell. It would appear that he's obviously been following the newspaper reports, and basically he has all the cuttings from the paper about the Jack the Ripper, and his own notes basically prove that he's convinced that you are actually behind all these attacks, and he's determined to stop. He was determined to stop you before you kill again. So.
I was wrong. Okay.
And you killed him for it. Congratulations.
Oh, he deserved it.
Yeah, so there we go. But at least you've worked out who was following you.
Not like he had a reason to object about
Well, at
being
least we have a
around
name for our lodge.
the alleyway, like against his will, like a piece on a chessboard. I mean,
Indeed.
We call it Murder Hobo Lodge.
As I say, you get obviously you get to the lodge, and you can get back to the lodge around the same time that the morning papers are being delivered, to the shops and everything. And as you're wandering, as you're walking down from Epsom Station back towards the lodge, you notice that the headline in the paper, "Ripper strikes again." And it basically says strikes again, two murders in 2 nights. There's an article that says the second attack was upon. The paper's also a bit confused because both the second attack, which you understand is Jonathan Harker, although the paper has not released his name yet. And the third attack, the police haven't released names yet, but apparently all that is known at this point is that neither of them were prostitutes, so that there is confusion as to whether or not these are in fact Ripper attacks. The latest victim again had been dismembered. So I'm just trying to put this one. Yeah, sorry. The latest victim was a female and apparently was dismembered with body parts are missing. Again, the police apparently refused to comment on why the Ripper is no longer only killing prostitutes, although the article speculates this may well be a different man. In fact, also the paper states that 6 individuals were questioned the night of the third murder and were released before the attack took place. Their names and identities are currently not known. Apparently, the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee is once again convening in an effort to keep the East End safe.
So, why did we kill that guy? Not really clear on that.
Pulled
He
out
drew
his
down
sword.
on
Combat. Just
Basically, because he drew down on us.
Yeah, basically cornered. He's convinced you were murderers, and therefore he fights to the death if you corner him. So of course you cornered him. He drew on you, and so you killed him. Simple as that.
Okay.
It's a matter of it's not easy to do non-lethal in combat unless you got weapons specifically for it.
And if you're a
Like
wolf, it's around. I mean, the main reason you killed him is because a wolf just ripped him to shreds.
Yeah, I really wasn't. I wanted to take him alive. That's why I entangled him.
I know.
Sorry, I'm trigger happy sometimes. Can't help it.
Anyway, you get back to the lodge, and not long afterwards, there's a knock at the door.
And Carl's
Bring my
not
guns
answering the
after
door
we
this
left the
time.
police station.
Sorry.
Somebody else can answer the door. Who's answering the door?
I'll answer the door.
There appear to be two police officers from Surrey Police standing at the door.
I'm gonna check outside behind the building.
Okay. Goes basically police commissioner De Kensington wishes to speak to you at Epsom Police Station.
Me?
Where?
All of you.
Me?
At the police.
No, where?
At the police station.
Yet?
Yes.
Are there more
minute
officers
police
out back
beta.
than there were last time?
No, this time no. There's just the two at the door. It goes at your earliest convenience, i.e., today, please.
Was ist it this time?
Carl is going to gather his study materials again and join the police officers.
Yeah. We'll come
I
get him.
have my pipe. I have my journal for that. So yeah.
Oh, you know what? We should have come up with a story because
You've got a very good alibi this time. Don't worry.
We already started one. We're being framed by old associates of mine who are attempting, to cause me trouble.
Plus, we was in an alleyway chasing some murderers last night, so we can't have been there on the downs.
No. We were attempting to capture people who were following us, and they got violent and ran off.
Yeah, and the police have questioned two of us about that. So we're definitely not. So we should just stay here and not even bother going. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea.
No, it's in our best interest to be productive. That gives us not being helpful
nicely,
makes us
we
look
need to
guilty.
go.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll go if we need to. We'll arrange an attorney or lawyer to also come along. Right, but at the moment we're being asked politely, so it's not.
I'm changing. Yeah.
Barrister.
Right. I'm changing. I'm just changing some. I'm just changing your notes. Can't remember what they're actually called. I'll get up. Give me 1 sec.
So, yeah, we'll go down to wherever for their polite questioning about something.
You know what? Before we go to the police station, we should just tell the police officers we'll be there shortly, and then we should coordinate what story we're telling because we don't all know what's going
They're
on.
not escorting us this time. They're just simply relaying a message. Please go there today to answer.
Right. So let's
whatever.
take an hour to
I
coordinate.
didn't notice your Betty's flow. Take it. I'll do it now.
We don't even know why we're being asked.
I don't care.
10 minutes ago, I was told to give you some bennies in the middle of that fight. I didn't notice, so I have them now.
Thanks very much. Thanks, viewer. Who was it?
Tank Girl 1. Sorry, tank girl. With a 1 though, so tank VIR 1, but obviously meant to read as tank girl. Been watching all your rippers, gives you lots of bennies, so there you go. So Epsom Police Station is quite nice. It's just a couple of streets over from yourself. Basically,
Am I muted?
no. Apparently, the Commissioner Logan Cowan of the Surrey Police has arrived to have a chat with you. Obviously, you're taken into one of these sort of larger interview rooms, and he's basically, you know, there's some chairs for you, but he's basically walks up and down at all of you and goes, well, yes, obviously, more murders occurring all over the place, and whenever it comes to you rippers, that's always the case. Again, he basically looks at you meaningfully as he says the word rippers. He goes, well, obviously, some people, especially in the Metropolitan Police, may think you onto a good thing, and you might have friends in high places, but I just want you to know here and now that here in Surrey, I'm not taking any of this crap. If I have any reason to believe that you've committed a crime, we'll arrest you. Obviously, you've got a perfectly good alibi for the murder of last night's victim. However, I will question you. I will ask right now and pass any information you give me on to the Metropolitan Police as to why the victim, why the daughter of Victor Frankenstein could possibly be targeted last night.
Oh dear.
The daughter of Victor Frankenstein was targeted last night?
If you're in the know, I'm sure you saw the note, the message.
Guys, I'm just being asked to pass this question on to you. It's understood that obviously Jonathan Parker and Victor Frankenstein were known to each other, so we're intrigued why the daughter should be...
Is she okay, or
no, she's dead. she was dismembered.
Do you not remember the note that was in the newspapers a month ago?
Okay.
The letter from Jack?
Yes, I know all that, but we also know that, but it's also a fact that we do know that your so-called wonderful organisation claims you defeated and killed Jack the Ripper. So that goes to show how trustworthy you are. Obviously, all are.
But if you're in the know, you know that there are things and other ways it is possible to come back from the dead.
Well, yes, but it's much more likely that you didn't actually kill him in the first place. I'm not blaming you because, as I understand it, my informants tell me you are relatively new recruits, the next generation, as it were. Just want you to know I've got my eye on you all.
And we attempt our best to work with the authorities. The fact that have connections with whatever however you reference the royal family, or
yeah, the royal family, yeah,
house or whatever. The fact that we work with the authorities should be in our benefit. This guy is what, the chief of police for the area, or he's a police commissioner?
He's the police commissioner for the whole of the county of Surrey. So,
which is where we are.
Which is where you are.
If
Carl is looking somewhat complex.
It would definitely assist us if we could know who we could trust that are aware of the occult in your police forces, so that we can be more honest with your men.
It's fine. It's quite straightforward. I will not have any of this rubbish going on in my county. No, I can't stop you from moving in here or anything else. However, I want it to be made quite clear that if I catch any of you breaking the law, I will prosecute you to the best of my ability. For the record, when I rolled up the generation tables today, it turns out the local. I didn't know that when I was saying I'll go here, but I rolled the next random generator, and it's basically the local ruler basically has a thing against rippers. So unfortunately, that's what this is coming up from. So it's not me trapping you here. So just it's just luck of the dice.
All right.
But
All right, we
You're
will
being
respect
mean
your
to
wishes.
us.
We will
You
not
mean GM.
interfere in any events that would require our expertise in your county. Are you satisfied? We will not interfere in any troubles in your county. Are you satisfied with that?
right, as long as we understand each other, that's good.
Is this an elected? Is this an elected position? Is
It
this
is. It is. It is now. I don't know if it was back then. I don't know if it was back then. I'm going to say yes because it's a fictional world. So yes.
It's not fictional.
We will do our. We will make sure to fulfill your desires, and we will not do or mess with anything in your county.
Oh. 9. We won't agree to that.
No, we will.
9.
Do you not know the Do you not know the curse of may you get exactly what you want or what you wish for?
But any exemptions? I mean, what are we gonna walking through is interfere is.
We will
messing
not.
around in this
We will
county.
not interfere until he comes and asks for our help.
I don't think if it. I can't agree to that. How about we won't interfere in police duties? Official police duties.
At the end of the day, he said if he catches, all he said is he catches. If you want to take it literally, he said if he catches you breaking the law, he will ensure you're prosecuted. That's what he actually said. So it's down to your interpretation. I understand. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying, and he seems quite happy with the fact that you're stating you won't get involved, which is absolutely fine.
Yes, he will regret it. He will come to regret it when it's necessary, but we will not interfere until he comes to us. Now,
Yes.
if people come to us as like say detectives or something, or for us to interfere, that's different. But we will not interfere with his police. If they run into problems, the police can deal with it. He will regret it, I guarantee it. But we will give him what he wants.
Indeed. That's good. Good. Yeah, no, that's fine. He seemed very happy with that one. He seems happy and content that he's happy with that result. He goes, right now, get the heck on, and given what you said, we should not be seeing one another again. I'm happy to be rid of this very sight of you. Good. Right.
Yep, I will let him regret it.
Okay, I need to check your notes again because I'll just check something and I think I know what's going on, which was... That's fine. That's what I thought. Okay. The next couple of days are quite quiet with regards to the next couple of days are uneventful. I'm just trying to find something, and then I shall be. This is very much a. So that's okay. Then I'll do that. That's fine. So, you do receive a telegram after a couple more days. I'm just trying to find something, and I'm just curious because that's great. If there isn't, I don't mind. I'm making it up as I go along at this point. Yeah. Okay. Basically, you get a telegram requesting an audience with you at your earliest opportunity, and it's basically it basically gives you means to contact back, and obviously says that you may choose the location. It is a whoops, let's try that again. The name at the bottom of the telegram requesting your attendance is just a single word.
Oh,
Everyone's coughing.
do we know that?
Not necessarily, no reason to really, but you can try common knowledge.
I believe I know what it's in a reference to, but
yeah, you think you've noticed that name cut sometimes in the papers in some way involved with investigations, including Sherlock Holmes, but you're not entirely sure exactly the connection. But you get the impression it may well have been an inspector in Scotland Yard. Yes.
okay. I guess we'll go see what he wants.
Yeah,
Let's go see what he wants.
he does indeed. He basically, obviously, you meet at the, you make an arrangements to meet at a time and place. He meets you in a very public place, but at the same time, not too overlooks and well away from Scotland Yard. He comes. He's basically dressed in very standard attire. He's a bit. He's basically, you can hear that he's sort of working class, more working class than upper class, which you'd expect with an inspector. But maybe he's just been, one of those good coppers that done good, or maybe he's obviously got someone who obviously promoted him to the annoyance of others. But anyway, he's obviously working. He's basically I got some information that I've been. I'll start that sentence again. It got away from me. I've been informed that in the absence of another individual who's unavailable at this time, that you are able to help with an ongoing investigation we have going. A certain Mr. Holmes stated that when it came to anything to deal with these so-called Rippers murders, if we couldn't get hold of him, then you had facilities that would possibly aid in the investigation.
Are you simply inquiring as to use our facilities, or do you need us to participate in the investigation?
He goes, I'm most certainly officially not here, and I'm most certainly officially not leaving this envelope containing a piece of fabric from a certain murder victim at this site. And obviously, even though I haven't left it with you, if you should come across a piece of evidence with an ongoing police investigation, I am sure you would carefully arrange to contact me about how you could hand over such discovered pieces of evidence. At which point he gets up and walks away, leaving an envelope on the table.
Okay.
Well, our promise didn't come back and bite us in the ass, and almost instantaneously did it.
Inside the envelope is a note explaining that the piece of fabric that is also included in there is part of the fabric that was clutched in the hand of the latest Ripper murder victim.
That was the daughter of Frankenstein?
That was Victor Frankenstein's daughter, yes. The assumption is she obviously tore it from her attacker.
Okay.
And basically, obviously it's a case of obviously all they've been able to ascertain is it is a fabric from an expensive men's shirt.
All right.
Well, I guess we need to figure out where it came from.
Yeah, take it back, do our thing, I guess.
I assume it's a cut piece. Is that correct? Like they cut it out of an existing.
Yes,
oh, that's no, is that the last?
It's been cut from a larger. It's been torn. No, it's actually basically it was torn. It's a cutting from the original fabric that was torn from. Was found clutched in the hand of the murder victim.
Okay. And is it cotton, or can we tell what it's
silk.
from? Is it normal material?
It's silk. He said it was silk.
Oh, it's silk. Okay.
Expensive men's shirt. Yes.
We'll take it back to our thing and do whatever tests I guess we would need to do on it.
Take it back to our thing and do our thing.
Did they die in our county?
Yeah, the Greek text thing. I'll need to sort that out.
We need to come up with a name for our lodge so we know where we're going.
Indeed. Okay, so basically, you'll need to do so. Obviously, scientific analysis. That always seems to work in these sorts of things, doesn't it? So, so you take it back. So you can perform. You can perform a careful analysis. Which a careful analysis is believed would help you trace the actual where this shirt was made. Who was the supplier of the shirt.
How do we do careful analysis? Is that a
science?
Science roll would work here. Yes.
Okay. Can I get assistance to do a science roll? Anybody want to assist, or does somebody have a higher science than 8?
I got a D8 science.
Okay, am I assisting you, or are you assisting me?
I only have a D6, but I can boost to who's ever.
Well, remember, when you're supporting, you don't have to roll science.
Okay, well, I rolled science anyhow.
I could have boosted that, but it doesn't matter. You roll well enough. But next time.
Yeah, I thought we were coordinated, but then he just rolled. So.
So that's a 13 so far.
Looks good. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yes, you determine the supplier. It's a very upmarket establishment up in London.
Carl's going to write it up in a small report that we can give, or we can, and put it in an envelope so that if we run into a Lestrade, we can hand him an envelope.
Yeah, found on Germain Street. Not German Street, I should say, but Germain, yeah. And the name of the tailor is Wilbert Babington.
Will be.
Yeah, and his offices is on German Street.
Okay.
Can't spell street anyway.
Do we want to give this to Lestrade, or do we want to run down the leads?
I really can't spell today. But the E in the
I
eye.
think we
Let's
need to
try
run
that
the
again.
lead first.
Yeah, let's try running the lead.
Not type today for my life.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's. Why don't we head to German Street then?
Well,
And see just how expensive this material,
really
how rare
understand
this.
what he was asking outside of our help. Whether he wanted us to just figure out where it was from, or give him more, or what.
That's why we're deciding for ourselves to run down the lead.
Exactly. Yeah. It's up to you what you want to do.
Yeah, it's up to us. So we're going to run down the lead.
Okay.
So let's head
We're
to
gonna run down
German
the lead?
Street. Yep. And find out more about this material.
Obviously, it's been a few days since the last murder. The papers are sort of in a desperate attempt to keep their sales up, are still keeping the story going. Today, it would appear that the main thing is the papers reporting an eyewitness to the first crime. That was the one that happened while you were up in Scotland, I believe. The witness reports seeing a fat gent in top hat running from the scene, sobbing. Since he wasn't no monster, I never thought anything of it.
What's that, Baldrick?
I have a cunning plan.
A fat gent in a top hat.
Yep.
And the first murder style murder, correct?
Yes, it was very much a standard Ripper-style murder. Lord George Lusk is also in the papers, decrying the police inadequacy, questioning whether they are shielding someone of importance from prosecution. But anyway, that's what's going on in the papers. You get to Germain Street, you to Wilbert Babington's tailor's shop.
But is it on topic? Germain Street, are you with me?
Yes. You got enough bennies, and we're near the end, so.
Fair enough. You have me there.
So, yes, basically, you step in you open the door, the bell rings, and an older gentleman steps forward and goes, "Yes, gentlemen, can I help you at all?" He goes, 6 at once. Why, I might need a couple of assistants for the measuring. How can I help you all?
Yes,
Is it a
we
wedding or
founded
something?
this-
Gentlemen wear brogues.
We have founded this a piece of cloth, and was told that you would be the place that would have it. It is such a fine material. We would like to have a suit made of it, and was curious as to whom the suit, the previous owner, might be for this. Yes.
Well, indeed, yes, it is. That is what that is. Ah, yes, the number 6 silk. I see. Yes, yes. That's the finest we do. Yes, at least 20 guineas for a shirt made of that. Let me see now. Yes, sorry, what was that last thing you said? No, definitely not. For never, ever, in any way, shape, or form, give out our client lists. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Who's he thinking about?
I'm going to make the roll.
Made the GM go fucking mind reading.
That's fine. Makes my life easy. You don't have to persuade him. He lists basically. He lists off half a dozen names off the top of his head. Going through his head of the people who obviously.
Okay.
Give me a
Say
second.
them out loud as they come to mind, because I can't. I want to everybody else to hear them.
Damn it. Sorry, I've got
Yeah,
a typo.
talking about people
I've
like
got a typo
this.
there.
Carl's gonna whip out his notebook and start writing down the names.
Yeah, that's
get
absolutely
mentioned.
fine. Yeah, that's not a problem. I just need to sort something out. Obviously, it's all very well randomly generating some names, but then when you need to add in a couple that might be important, you know what I mean?
Got too many McGillicuddies in there.
I just need one more name and we'll be good. Newts. Where was it? Could you change it? There we go. And now I can give you the proper list. There you go.
Thank you.
Doesn't mean it's the full list.
Do any of you recognize these names?
You'll recognise one of them.
Eddie Andrew? Did he have a hit back in the 80s?
You might have to look at Banks' Murder, other guests.
Jellicoe. I thought it looked familiar.
Jellicoe.
Yeah, Jellicoe's can and Jellicoe's do.
He was the portly politician. He was the portly politician who I'm not sure if he survived the encounter. You basically worked out had committed the murder, didn't he?
That should have been a reverse penny, but we've got enough.
I can't remember if Jellicoe survived or not. But the point, I can't remember if Jellicoe actually survived the adventure or not. But he was I just thought it was interesting. He was a portly politician, but especially as I just said a fat gent this time. But yeah, he was a portly politician who obviously
a portly politician walks into a bar.
But I think that's a good place to leave it today. Hope you enjoyed it. We shall continue next time.
All right. Thank you for the information.
He looks most. Did you actually say the names out loud? I forgot to.
Yeah, most definitely. Because
he's very confused by that, and he basically backs away. And then he backs up to the counter, and then they sort of says, "Oh, "Get out of my shop now! Get out before I call the police! Get out now!" And the second you wander outside here, you see him sort of flip the sign over to closed, and he's obviously shaken up. You don't think he's hiding anything; he's just very disturbed and shaken by the But we shall leave it there.
You should be wary of the powers of psychology. I could read those names on your very face.
But that's where we shall leave it for the day.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Take care, one and all. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much. That was good.